Call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248 today.
Don't keep putting it off. Ignoring home repairs won't make them go away. If it's drafty windows, overflowing gutters, rotted trim, or that dreaded leaking roof, PJ Fitzpatrick can take care of your home repair project right now and save you thousands of dollars before it turns into costly structural damage. This is the time to call the home repair experts at PJ Fitzpatrick. No job too big or too small. They'll fix it right the first time. Visit trustpj.com. That's trustpj.com.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leaffilter.com/deal.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Partly sunny and 82 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 6 o'clock. I'm Paul Alexander. The U.S. Supreme Court has handed President Trump a win, effectively clearing the way for his efforts to downsize the federal workforce. CBS White House reporter Linda Kenyon has the story.
The justices said no specific cuts were at issue, just President Trump's executive order, directing agencies to cut jobs. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson dissented and said the court, quote, demonstrated enthusiasm for greenlighting this president's legally dubious actions in an emergency posture. She also warned of consequences, including widespread cancellation of federal services. Some 75,000 federal employees have been fired, resigned, or have been placed on leave. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The state attorney general's office has announced charges against a 40-year-old Allegheny County man who allegedly attempted to meet what he believed a 12-year-old child for sex. Authorities say Lane Allen Simpson of Pitcairn agreed to pay cash for sexual acts with the child and then went on to an agreed-upon location to meet the child, where he was then taken into custody. Agents say Simpson arrived at the location with cash, condoms, and candy and was arraigned and denied bail. City leaders and Southside business owners are reacting to last weekend's incident on East Carson Street, where people in a large crowd threw fireworks and rocks at police. Councilmember Bob Charlin shared his thoughts.
Our officers show unbelievable restraint, and to see them be treated that way is, inexcusable and something that, I can't tolerate.
Charlin says the city will be asking the county and state police for assistance on the south side. He also says the city will announce later this week a new plan to limit weekend violence. The Allegheny County District Attorney's Office confirms that an establishment on East Carson Street is under review by the Nuisance Bar Task Force. Capo's Bar has been the scene of multiple incidents of violence in the recent weeks. 2 weekends ago, a man was arrested accused of fighting with a woman. That was followed by a large and unruly crowd leaving the bar and heading onto the streets. Pepper spray was used to help clear the crowd in that instance. Police are investigating after a smash and grab at a vape shop in Brookline. Pittsburgh police were alerted by a burglary alarm at Cloud King in the 900 block of Brookline Boulevard just before 2:30 Tuesday morning. Officers found the front entrance had been rammed several times by a vehicle. Video shows two men fully dressed in black getting out of an SUV and stealing money from the register along with merchandise before leaving the scene. The SUV used in the burglary had been stolen in Dormont. Beginning today, air travelers nationwide no longer have to remove their shoes during TSA security checks. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem with the announcement at a D.C. area airport, who was asked if every airport across the country has the capability to stop someone from having something bad like a bomb in their shoe.
we've gone back and evaluated this process and how we screen individuals and looked at the efficacy of it and making sure that everything that we do matters. And if it is something that is beneficial, that helps us in the screening process, we will continue to do it. So there will be individuals at times that will be asked to remove their shoes.
Travelers with TSA PreCheck already did not have to remove their footwear. In order to have PreCheck, travelers must submit an application and go through a clearance process with the Transportation Security Administration. Not all airports have cleared the way for that, but we just heard from Pittsburgh International a little while ago, you will not have to remove your shoes as you go through the screening process at Pittsburgh International Airport. On Wall Street, the Dow closed down 165 points, and NASDAQ up 5, the S&P 500 down 4. KDK Sports brought to you by NASCO Roofing, Pittsburgh's trusted and passionate roofer. Call NASCO Roofing at 412-373-2000. Pirates in Kansas City tonight, Game 2 of their 3-game set against the Royals. First pitch at 7:40. O'Neal Cruz in the Home Run Derby in Atlanta as part of the All-Star festivities next Monday. KDK Radio News Time, 6:03. Recently lost your health insurance or don't have insurance through an employer? Call One Health Benefits today at 724-799-8873 for affordable options. Right now, it's partly sunny and 82 degrees in Pittsburgh. KDK AAA Traffic and AccuWeather together next.
Everyone needs to have at least one person in their corner in life. When you don't, it's an extremely lonely and frightening place to be. But knowing you have that one person gives you peace and hope. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Since 1988, myself and my firm have been in so many corners for so many clients for so many years. We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason, and it's not even close. We fought like hell for you. We fight the bullies, automobile insurance companies, the makers of unsafe products, medical providers who injured or killed their own patients. It has been such an honor and made my life complete. If you ever need us, it's easy. On your mobile device or computer, visit forthepeople.com. And then we get to work 24/7. Whether you're hurt in a car crash, injured on the job, or have questions about your Social Security, we're here for you. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Morgan & Morgan, 603 Stanwick Street, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania lawyer will handle Pennsylvania cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
KDKA traffic on the 5s.
Hi, 6:05, your Pratt Pack getting ready for a terrific Tuesday night. Hope you'll stick with us. From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, KDK AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser and Genesis in Monroeville. Let's say good evening to Margot. Hey, Margot.
All right, Rob, looking at the major roadways, the Parkway East outbound is still congested from the bend at Bates going into the Squirrel Hill Tunnel. The Parkway West outbound is slow from the County Jail going into the Fort Pitt Tunnel, and the Parkway West inbound is slow from the airport going through Robinson Town Center. Also, 79 is still a little bit congested from on the outbound right before the S-curves. With AAA Traffic, I'm Margot Rensel on 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
It will stay partly cloudy through tonight, a low of 63. We'll have a mix of sun and clouds for tomorrow. There could be an afternoon thunderstorm in spots, high 85. And then partly cloudy and muggy tomorrow night, a low of 68. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Brian Thompson at 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Don't delay in getting that plumbing repair done. Call Palucci Plumbing today for all of your plumbing needs. From trenchless sewer repair and waterline repairs and replacement, hot water tanks, sewer camera inspections, to Pittsburgh potty repairs, no job is too small for Palucci Plumbing. Owners Amy and Nick Palucci have been in business for 26 years, so give them a call for your next plumbing repair or replacement. Palucci Plumbing, 412-782-5050. That's 412-782-5050.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
All right, your Pratt Pack, here we go. Pittsburgh City Council strikes down councilman's proposal for inclusionary zoning. Headline, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, just before 5 o'clock this afternoon. Despite months of passionate debate, Pittsburgh City Council quietly struck down a plan that would give city neighborhoods the power to decide whether they wanted inclusionary zoning added to new developments. In December, Councilman Bob Charlin introduced the legislation as a counter to a plan that Mayor Ed Gainey had presented in September, which would make inclusionary zoning mandatory across the city. Inclusionary zoning already exists in parts of the city, namely Lawrenceville and Bloomfield, and it requires that any development over 20 units make at least 10% of the units affordable to tenants who make at or less than 50% of the area median income, which is about $40,500 for a family of two. Look, I know people are working every day really hard to make ends meet, and that's why I come to work morning, noon, and night to talk to those people to let them know there is hope. But this is where government has to realize, when it comes to making housing affordable, which every homeowner should have the right to make it affordable, family, and a future with that family under that roof that they've worked hard to pay for, you got to get better paychecks. And that's why this Nippon U.S. Steel deal is such a big deal. And I wish there were more people than just me talking about it. These USW workers, unionized workers, make good paychecks, healthy paychecks, and they're able to afford a home. They're able to get a 30-year mortgage. They're able to pay their bills, have a car, buy groceries, pay their taxes, have a family vacation, and experience memories to look back on like I grew up with. And yes, the thing that was amazing back in the 60s and 70s that could happen today, and why this Nippon U.S. Steel deal is the first giant step in the right direction, everybody was making a good, healthy paycheck back then. And we never had discussions on whether or not we could afford our house. Nobody ever talked about education or health care. And when it came to politics, we agreed to disagree. But after the vote was cast, we all moved forward and we all got along because every Smith, Jones, and Pratt family in that neighborhood was making that identical income. Now, there will be those who will make more and those who will make less, but you have to have a middle-class foundation in America to make America great again. And the only way you do any of this stuff to make it affordable is by getting people an affordable paycheck that they can go out and have a quality life, because life goes by way too soon. And I think that's all we're all asking for, just a good, healthy, quality life. That's what America is all about. Page 2. Also, my favorite, the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. There's a book out. We'll get to this later tonight on why Kamala Harris did not choose Josh Shapiro. I'm going to go on record right now. If he's the candidate in 28, he's going to get my vote. As much as you hear me talk about Donald Trump, which I respect our honorable president and all the great things he's doing, Josh Shapiro is one of us. He's from Pennsylvania. And this book, written by 3 gentlemen, and we'll get into it later, they said that the reason he wasn't chosen because he perceived to be too ambitious and he might overshadow the vice president. What did I tell you as soon as the vote was cast? And she was losing early, and often it was over quickly. She should have chose Josh Shapiro. He would have made her star shine brighter. He would have shown her a great way to communicate and get out and meet people where they live. Josh Shapiro is A, B, C, D. He's everywhere throughout this entire Commonwealth. He has the same type of energy. And here's the other thing that he's got going for him. He's a whole lot younger. And he knows a little bit about the law. And one of the things that we're dealing with in this country right now is a crime epidemic of epic proportion. But he also understands working class people. And I must admit, he's from Pennsylvania. So why would you want to vote for any other person if they were running against, it will not be Donald Trump, obviously, but even if it's J.D. Vance, why would you not want to vote for somebody from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania? It's long overdue that we would have an opportunity to have a person in the White House. And as far as Kamala Harris is concerned, it cost her the presidency. Bottom line, it cost her the presidency. And Josh Shapiro can say what he wants and he can be humble all he wants, but he knows it too. there is no way Donald Trump stomps down any Democrat the way he did as far as vote tally is concerned, Kamala Harris, if Josh Shapiro is at her side. And don't you understand, the reason the president chose J.D. Vance, even though they butted heads for years, he understood to get over that hurdle, to get back into the White House, he needed someone young, bright, and bold, and who could communicate. And young people, young Republicans, now growing in leaps and bounds, especially on college campuses in this country, would be voting for J.D. Vance, but in reality, that vote going to Donald Trump. I love the whole idea of politics. Can't wait to read this book, and we'll talk more about it later tonight. Too ambitious. That's exactly what I thought, but I wasn't smart enough to write a book. I'm glad these three gentlemen did, and I surely hope, if elected governor, again, which I think he will be, he runs for the White House, because it'll make it very interesting, and you got to love the fact he's from our place, that is Pennsylvania. Yeah, man, we got a lot to get to tonight. But in between, we got some great stuff as well in the way of Pittsburgh Works programming, and I'm going to tell you more about that. And if you love cigars and you love live entertainment, you love vibrant music, and you want a special event that you want to be a part of, Burn by Rocky Patel will be here in the 7 o'clock hour, so I'm going to tell you all about that in a little bit. So stay where you're at. We're just underway at your Pratt Pack. It's a terrific Tuesday night, and it's not so hot today, right? Nice day outside. So get out and enjoy it, but wherever you go, make sure you have KDKA 100.1 FM AM 1020, and if you don't have the Odyssey app, get it, download it. It's free, so when you're on the go, we can go with you every single step of the way. All right, your Pratt Pack, it is 6:15. From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, KDKA AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser and Genesis of Monroeville. Here again is Margot Rensel. Margot.
All right, Rob, looking at the major roadways, the Parkway West outbound is congested from 2nd Avenue going into the Fort Pitt Tunnel. After the Fort Pitt Tunnel, it is slow moving from the 79 interchange as well. Also, the Parkway West inbound is congested through Robinson Town Center. And a little bit further down is stacked from Green Tree Hill. With AAA Traffic, I'm Margot Rensel on 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
This is TV's Dr. Travis Stork for Eggland's Best. Eggs are a staple in our diets, and there's only one egg with more delicious farm-fresh taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best, with more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties: classic, cage-free, organic, free-range, and pasture-raised. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking. Early bird special, $49.99. Seminars Wednesday, July 23rd, Hilton Garden Inn, Pittsburgh, Cranberry and Cranberry Township, or Thursday, July 24th, Holiday Inn Express and Suites, Pittsburgh, West and Green Tree. Weight loss at 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar at 8 p.m.
When it comes to a weekend warrior home project, I have tackled more than my fair share. But looking at my all-brick home and seeing loose and worn mortar joints, I knew I'd be in over my head. The thought of finding the right company for such an important project to preserve my home for years to come was daunting. Then I heard an ad for Precision Pointing, a full-scale masonry restoration company that did not require a down payment and guaranteed the quality of their work. Who does that nowadays? Well, they do. Precision Pointing for the win. BrickPointingPittsburgh.net.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind: to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-885-9700. 800-885-9700. That's 800-885-9700.
Burn by Rocky Patel is raising a glass to you, their locker members. Join them for an exclusive locker member appreciation night, Wednesday, July 9th at 7 p.m. at their North Shore location. Enjoy 40% off the Wish, 20% off Don Julio, and 20% off your favorite Rocky Patel cigars, all in celebration of their most loyal patrons. It's Burn by Rocky Patel's way of saying thank you for being part of the Burn family. They'll see you there July 9th at 7 p.m. only at Burn by Rocky Patel on the North Shore.
Your bathroom's got to go, the vanity's decayed, and toilet's really old. The bathtub's giving way, give Baths R Us a ring. Call morning, noon, or night. You do not have to wait to get your bathroom right.
Call Baths R Us for your free estimate and enter to win our Christmas in July $12,500 bathroom remodel with an additional savings of up to $3,000 plus low to no monthly payments. 412-556-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Give your liver the support it needs with Active Liver. Go to NORDICUSA.com, Amazon, or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS. New you, new Nordic.
All right, 20 inside the hour from the Goldberg, Persky, and White News Desk. Here's KDK Radio's Paul Alexander. Good evening, Paul.
Rob, thank you, and good evening. A brazen smash and grab robbery in Brookline. Details coming up, bottom of the hour, right here on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
Bloomberg Money Minute time again. Bloomberg Radio on KDKA Radio.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Taco Tuesday could get more expensive if the U.S. doesn't renew or extend a decades-long deal with Mexican tomato growers. A lapse would unleash a 17% tariff on fresh tomatoes, which economists say would lead to higher prices and lost jobs. Stocks sluggish today as President Trump confirmed the U.S. will not offer extensions to his August tariff deadline. The Dow lost 166 points, about 0.4%. The Nasdaq up 0.03, adding 6 points. The S&P down 4, about a tenth. Nissan scaling back production for its new Leaf electric vehicle model because China's rare earth export restrictions have led to a shortage of parts. Amazon sales were down 14% in its first few hours of Prime Day, but Prime Day is now 4 days instead of 2, with billions in sales expected by the end of the week. And breakfast may never be the same again. Cereal giant General Mills has partnered with Hormel to make bacon-flavored Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal. Monica Ricks, Bloomberg Radio.
Rob Frax on the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Who doesn't love a good breakfast cereal? Come on now. Let's hear it for General Mills. That's what I'm talking about. Everything goes better and tastes better with bacon. Are you kidding me? That just made my day. Speaking of things making my day, Jack Sawinski, according to Pittsburgh Baseball Now, going to be coming up just in time for the Bucs game against Kansas City tonight. And that news about O'Neill Cruz, look, 15 homers, got that Mendoza line batting average. That could be better, but I'm really pumped about that. So I'm looking over some things at the home studio today, and I did not realize Bobby Bonilla, 1990, first Pirate in it. The last Josh Bell, 2019. They've all done it. Barry Bonds in 92, Andrew McCutchen. But not any Pirate at any time has won the home run derby. Can you imagine if my man Dave Parker got a chance to participate, or Wilbert Darnell Stargell? Come on now, that would be great. But O'Neill Cruz, 15 homers, but he's also got those records, 2 of the fastest hard-hit balls ever, over 120-plus miles an hour. So wouldn't that be just lovely for that young man to do so well? Comes back, heroes welcome after the All-Star game. That'd be great to see. Definitely going to be worth tuning in for. I'm going to be here on the radio, but I'm counting on all of you to cheer on O'Neill Cruz. But I'll let you know what happens as it happens for sure. All right, I want to get back to this book. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this tonight. This is from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. The name of the book is 2024, How Trump Retook the White House and the Democrats Lost America. Again, from the PG, really a really good article. I'm just going to give you a little bit of it. The interview with Shapiro revealed the two were not a perfect match, according to authors Josh Dowsey of the Wall Street Journal, Tyler Pager of the New York Times, and Isaac Arnsdorf of the Washington Post. He came across as overly ambitious, pushing Harris to define what his role would be. He also conceded it would not be natural for him to serve as someone's number two, leaving Harris with a bad impression. Now, that's something that Dr. Wong, the great Dr. Wong, I might add, just texted me before I even got to that paragraph. He said, you know, this is the way it had to be. He wanted to be the guy. Bottom line is, he's going to be the Democratic nominee in 2028. But if she could have given him a sales pitch to convince him to run, I truly believe that it would have changed the course of history. I'm not saying that President Trump wouldn't be president again, but it would have been a whole lot more interesting. I mean, honestly, the debate skills, no. And speaking and revving up crowds just wasn't there. That's why you see J.D. Vance out doing all of these personal appearances and glad-handing, kissing babies, shaking hands, traveling around the world, because the president knows if he wants to keep the big, beautiful bill and his thought process rolling after his presidency, where he can have somebody on speed dial in the Oval Office, he's got this guy. And he also has got another young man of interest who I'm sure he would like to have someone groom him as the president ages out. So you get J.D. Vance in there for 2 terms. That's 8 years. You got that young Barron Trump, who's kind of a magnet. I mean, he's 6'9". You can't miss him. But, I mean, he's just got this command. At 19 years old, I couldn't walk and chew gum at the same time. This kid stands up, shakes hands, blows little kisses into the ear of Joe Biden. Like, I wouldn't have the guts to say some of the things this kid says. But you know what? It's the power of positive thinking. It's about being, true to yourself and who you are and who your father is. It's that stock. It's who. I mean, look at all of his children. His children have done pretty well for themselves. I mean, having daddy along the way didn't hurt. But man, oh man, this Barron Trump, I mean, the sky's the limit. Look, I wouldn't be shocked. Not going to happen in my lifetime. But I got a daughter who just turned 23 and a son 26 and a son 34, and he's got 3 kids. I wouldn't be shocked someday if somebody's listening to this radio and they're talking about Barron Trump running for some sort of office. I mean, the wealth is there. I mean, Donald Trump's worth billions, and that money can go generational into great-great-great-grandchildren. And the others are already making money of their own, too. So it's going to get really interesting, very, very interesting. And I think the only shot at this point, and I look at all of them, Cory Booker, I mean, you go round and round and round. I don't see anybody other than Josh Shapiro is the pathway back to the Oval Office for the Democratic Party. If they don't get it in 2028, I don't think they're back there in 2 decades. That's how long, especially if J.D. Vance gets in there and starts bringing some other young people, just like President Trump did, into his administration. And I'll tell you the guy who's really making a big statement, whether you want to believe me or not, who's in the headlines as much as the president? Robert Kennedy Jr. Who's to say he's not the vice presidential candidate of J.D. Vance? Who's to say he's not? Because the vice presidential role is changing in America. The problem with Kamala Harris, she didn't do enough. The Biden administration should have pushed her out front more, because I think she was capable, but I just don't think they gave her a shot. I don't know. It's really interesting. And Carolyn Levitt, very impressive there, too. Her future. I see her seeking office someday, too. So a lot of things happening in the world of politics, and we'll continue to talk about it as we move forward. All right, stay with us. Paul's coming up next with that news, and then we're going to get back to some more conversation, and then Burned by Rocky Patel in the 7 o'clock hour. Big appreciation night coming up there tomorrow. We'll tell you all about it. And then we've got one of my favorites, State Senator Kim Ward, Unplugged tonight. Don't miss her. Right after local news at 8 on KDKA.
When you call yourself the voice of Pittsburgh, you have to know when to not talk. Sometimes you just need to be the ears of Pittsburgh. Just listen. Listen to what you have to say. These are complicated and uncertain times. But when you need us, we're here for you. And we're listening. A trusted source that you can count on to be here. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
At UPMC Hillman Cancer Center, we believe cancer care shouldn't just be good enough. It should be life-changing. As the region's only National Cancer Institute designated comprehensive cancer center, we provide groundbreaking treatments and innovative clinical trials with renowned cancer specialists and a compassionate support system for patients and their families. Discover more at upmchillman.com/lifechanging.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures, until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive, so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Check the back seat. Check the back seat.
Gets in your head, right? Good, because every year dozens of children are forgotten in the back seat. Cars get hot fast and can be deadly, so get it in your head. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Mostly sunny and 82 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 6:30. I'm Paul Alexander. News brought to you by PJ Fitzpatrick. Need a new roof or just want to repair a small leak? Trust PJ.com. The Supreme Court on Tuesday lifted a lower court order that blocks sweeping layoffs of federal workers at nearly 24 agencies while legal battle over President Trump's plans to drastically cut the size of government moves forward. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson dissented from the court's decision and accused it of demonstrating an enthusiasm for greenlighting this president's legally dubious actions in an emergency posture. More from Loyola Law School professor Lori Levinson.
Justice Jackson is sending out a warning that the Supreme Court, by deferring to President Trump's power, even at this stage, it's going to lead to a major change in not only how our government works, but frankly, harms to the democracy as well.
The High Court's order clears the way for the Trump administration to resume its efforts to reorganize and scale back the federal government, which was led by the White House's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. Beginning today, air travelers nationwide no longer have to remove their shoes during TSA security checks. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem with the announcement at a D.C. area airport, who was asked if every airport across the country has the capability to stop someone from having something bad like a bomb in their shoe.
We've gone back and evaluated this process and how we screen individuals and looked at the efficacy of it and making sure that everything that we do matters. And if it is something that is beneficial, that helps us in the screening process, we will continue to do it. So there will be individuals at times that will be asked to remove their shoes.
Not every airport in the country has cleared the way for this to happen, but we heard a little bit earlier the Pittsburgh International Airport will indeed not make you remove your shoes as you go through the screening process. Police are investigating after a smash and grab at a vape shop in Brookline. Pittsburgh police were alerted by a burglary alarm at Cloud King in the 900 block of Brookline Boulevard just before 2:30 Tuesday morning. Officers found the front entrance had been rammed several times by a vehicle. Video shows two men fully dressed in black getting out of an SUV and stealing money from the register along with merchandise before leaving the scene. The SUV used in the burglary was stolen in Dormont. On Wall Street, the Dow closed down 165 points, the Nasdaq up 5, the S&P 500 down 4. KDK Sports brought to you by NASCO Roofing, Pittsburgh's trusted and passionate roofer. Call NASCO Roofing at 412-373-2000. Pirates back in action tonight in Kansas City. They'll be looking to snap a 4-game losing streak. Pirates and Royals first pitch at 7:40. KDK Radio News Time is 6:32. Our next update at 7. I'm Paul Alexander and the voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
Hi, this is Les Botkin of Botkin Family Wealth Management. My wife Barb and I celebrated our 50th wedding anniversary with a Florida family vacation. The intense August heat prompted me to share a story with my grandkids about working my first job as an assistant golf pro in my early 20s. I earned $2.10 an hour and was thrilled when I found a great pair of work shoes for only $7. They were injection molded plastic. Even the stitching was plastic. I felt like I'd hit the jackpot with those fine-looking shoes. That was until I was teaching a golf lesson on a hot summer day. When standing on the tee, I felt my feet burning up and realized my shoes were literally melting onto the grass. I suddenly realized why they'd been such a bargain. Remembering times like those make me appreciate the journey of my life. At Botkin Family Wealth Management, we're interested in hearing your story because understanding your beginnings is an important part of appreciating what it took to get where you are today. Visit us at botkinfamilywealth.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
If you are new to Medicare and have questions, Aetna can help. Aetna has a Medicare Advantage plan that includes prescription drug coverage with a $0 monthly plan premium. Plus, the plan includes benefits like dental, vision, and hearing. Call Aetna today at 1-833-771-3415 to learn more. A licensed agent will answer your call.
Aetna Medicare is an HMO PPO plan with a Medicare contract. Our DSMPs also have contracts with state Medicaid programs. Enrollment in our plans depends on contract renewal. Plan features and availability may vary by service area.
Summer storms can spell disaster for your roof and more. At Home Genius Exteriors, we stop the damage before it starts. Call now during our summer savings event and get 50% off materials for your new roof. Plus, get no interest and no payments till 2027. Call Home Genius Exteriors at 855-U-R-GENIUS to schedule your free roof and attic inspection. That's 855, the letter U, the letter R, Genius. Home Genius Exteriors, the genius choice in roofing. See website for details.
KDKA traffic on the 5s.
6:35 from the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center. KDK AAA traffic powered by Bowser and Genesis of Monroeville. Here's Margot.
All right, Rob, looking at the major roadways, the Parkway West outbound is a little bit congested before you get into the Fort Pitt Tunnel, and then after the Fort Pitt Tunnel is a little bit slow through Robinson Town Center. With AAA traffic, I'm Margot Rensel on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
The sky will turn out partly cloudy tonight. We'll get down to 63 for an overnight low. It's going to be a humid day tomorrow with times of clouds and sunshine. There could be an afternoon thunderstorm, high 85. Still humid Thursday with some sun and a thunderstorm, high 80. For AccuWeather, I'm Brian Thompson, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Tune in this Sunday morning at 8 for the Coons Cooking Hour with Rob Pratt and the Coons Market team as they discuss budget-friendly meals. It's the Coons Cooking Hour, presented by Coons Market, your hometown Pittsburgh grocer.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Hi, this is Larry Richard. Join us on the Big K Morning Show tomorrow, 5:30 until 10 in our 7 o'clock hour, our weekly visit with Rich Fitzgerald, bringing us big news from around the 10-county region.
All right, let me do a little entertainment news. Tap dance until we get back to Margot and the traffic, and then it's Burned by Rocky Patel. You're going to love what they have to say, and definitely worth sticking around for. They got a big event coming up tomorrow as well, too. Speaking of tomorrow, Live Casino be here in the 7 o'clock hour of Pittsburgh. They've got their big Fight Fest coming up. People making appearances like Roy Jones Jr., Paul Spatafora. It's mixed martial arts. It's combat sports of epic proportion. Going to be a lot of food vendors, cigar vendors. They're going to have a tattoo vendor there. It's going to be happening July the 11th and 12th. So 2 big Pittsburgh Works program tonight, Burned by Rocky Patel, and then tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, Live Casino Pittsburgh. Now, I got to talk a little bit about a couple of things. First off, I love all types of music. You understand? I mean, all types. But for most of you who know me, I'm a rhythm and blues soul. Grew up listening to Motown, James Brown. That was always my thing, right? what people were listening to, like Led Zeppelin and what have you. That's what I was doing. Although I dig Led Zeppelin too, don't get me wrong. But I like metal. I do. Metallica and that. Sometimes you just need to get the blood pumping, right? Well, there was a major event over the holiday, and I did a nice little blog about it on my social media platforms, and it kind of went viral a little bit. It had nothing to do with me, but it has to do with the person that was performing with his band. Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath did their last show together. And I got to tell you, Ozzy's dealing with a whole lot of health issues right now, so please keep him in your prayers. Look, the guy has created a brand. He and his wife Sharon and family have created an amazing brand. So anyway, he's basically in a chair, like a throne, if you will, black leather, obviously, with the bats and all the Ozzy recipe for success, right? But the guy can still sing. He's still amazing. But I just wanted to take a little bit of time and explain why this guy is something special in the world of entertainment. What was in the crowd of over 40,000 in Birmingham, England, were a lot of people my daughter's age, my son's age. And that just goes to show you what kind of star power this guy has had. Now, you realize this dude is now in his 70s, pushing towards 80, right? So when he first came onto the scene, that was a long time ago. And to be able to have that kind of staying power to where young people keep buying in, I'm going to tell you right now, if he doesn't have this health issue, which he basically can't walk, the guy would be performing probably until he took his last breath. And how he has overcome so much is really amazing. And for people who point fingers, they talk about Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix and all the people that, OD'd in the world of entertainment. The world of entertainment is not for the faint of heart. And when you have all of these highs, sometimes it's hard to find, common ground. Not making an excuse for any of this stuff, but you've never walked in the shoes of Ozzy Osbourne. But the amazing thing is how he has overcome so much. Infidelity with his wife issues, and she almost left him a dozen times, and all of the drugs and alcohol, and just, the outburst in public and what have you. But he still draws a crowd. He's still a heck of a musician. But he's also helping young people really kind of falling in line. This young blood, this young man who is basically a younger clone of Ozzy Osbourne, who can actually sing, did a version of Changes, which was a massive song for Black Sabbath. And I haven't seen a crowd react like that, and I'm not the first to say this, since the late Freddie Mercury did what he did with Queen time and time again. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. And I just want to wish Ozzy, wherever he goes and whatever he does, and his lovely wife Sharon, who, believes me, deserves roses every day sent to her for what she put up with. I wish them nothing but the best. But it was really a cool event, and I got a chance to see bits and pieces. And the great thing about social media, you can scroll this stuff and see it over. And if you've never heard this young man, Young Blood, sing, even if you're not into that type of music, he's got a great stage presence, and it's almost like watching a young Ozzy Osbourne. But man, Oz is he's still the man. There's no doubt about it. And a lot of young people believe it. And if you can still sell albums and records and they're downloading your music, and you put 40,000 people into a stadium like that at his age, you got to have something going for you. Now, the other thing that's kind of honked me off a little bit. I love Mary Lou Retton from nearby West Virginia. Part of my youth, gold medalist, obviously is having some tough times with her health. She got picked up. She got arrested. And I understand this is what entertainment is. I understand the TMZ, just like we had the National Enquirer back in the day, and Entertainment Tonight, and Access Hollywood, and all this stuff. But I got to be honest with you. Does anybody really need to see the police footage of her trying to walk the line? I mean, come on. And stumbling and falling, with oxygen, I just don't see any purpose in that. And I know when you're in the public eye, you put yourself out there, anything can happen. But man, that's just gut-wrenching to watch. And I don't know about you. We have this fixation in our country and really around the world. We love building these people up, like a Michael Jackson or an Elvis Presley. They're larger than life, right? And then when they trip, stumble, something happens, everybody's all in. And I'll never forget my friend Frankie DeLeo, God rest his soul. Frankie was an epic promoter. He was the Colonel Tom Parker, if you will, but a little bit classier to say the least, to Michael Jackson. And Frankie and I had a really good relationship. He went to Central Catholic. When Michael died, he went on the air with me first. and before CNN ever got him or anybody got him. And you could actually feel the pain in his voice about losing this young man who he stood by through everything, thick and thin. Even got me Jermaine to come on the radio when all of the child abuse allegations started to unfold. So showbiz, it can be rough, and it's tough, not just getting to the top, but staying there. But the thing about this country and this world, we love to see those stars fall. And man, when they fall, we like to just jump up and down and step on them. Because here's the thing. They have faults too. They make mistakes. I mean, if it's in the news, you got to talk about it. But how long has it been since she got arrested? I mean, she had a really major health scare. She got through that. And now we got to roll out this footage. And I promise you, I'm not the only one that has seen it. It'll probably go viral. There'll be millions of views. And it just makes me realize that people, it's almost like we just don't like people who are successful. I mean, it's all the bashing of Elon Musk. I hear that all the time. Jeff Bezos, the bashing about the big wedding and how much it cost. Look, he worked for it. It's his money. It started out as a $10,000 ebook company. So, let him have it. More power to them. How much? They employ 1 million people. We were talking about affordable paychecks and jobs earlier. Those folks working at Amazon have a pretty good deal going for them right now. So let's just, I don't know. You're going to watch it. I know you are. You're probably Googling it right now. But it's just sad to see this stuff. Because, I really respect people who go the extra mile to become successful. And Mary Lou back in the day, I mean, she was amazing. I mean, we had Kathy Rigby before her, and then there was Olga Corbett, these wonderful, incredibly talented women athletes in gymnastics. And then she burst onto the scene, and she's from nearby West Virginia. And it was tough enough to hear about the health issues, but then that happened. You're thinking, okay, can't get in her head. We don't know what she's dealing with. But to see that footage, I don't know. I think we could have just done without it. And I didn't watch the entire thing, by the way. All right, 6:45. From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, KDKA AAA traffic powered by Bowser and Genesis of Monroeville. Here's Margot.
All right, Rob, it is mostly clear on the major roadways to close out this rush hour. However, there's still just a little bit of traffic from Green Tree Hill going into the Fort Pitt Tunnel on the Parkway West inbound. With AAA traffic, I'm Margot Renzel on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
If your car has a broken piece of glass, bring your car to Ryan's Auto Glass. So quit your whining and crying. Call 1-800-GET-RYAN. Bring your car to Ryan'sAutoGlass.com.
Hi, it's Steve Mann. Have you heard the commercials for the Mark Patrick Stop Smoking seminars? And they said only $49.99 and it could work for you. So I thought, that's not even a week's worth of smoking. So I went. And guess what? It did work for me. My friends and family are still amazed. I quit smoking. I didn't have cravings, anxiety, or weight gain. Listen, I don't know how it works, but I know it works because I'm living proof, and it's 100% guaranteed. So what do you got to lose? I'll tell you what you got to lose. A very bad habit.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking without cravings, irritability, or weight gain. Early bird special, only $49.99. Don't just cut down, but stop smoking once and for all, or your money back. Seminar 8 p.m. on Wednesday, July 23rd at the Hilton Garden Inn, Cranberry in Cranberry Township, or 8 p.m. on Thursday, July 24th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, Pittsburgh, West and Green Tree. Registration 30 minutes before seminar. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
Hey, we got a resource here in Pittsburgh that I love, and it's MediConnect because they take care of everything Medicare related. They make it simple. They give you the options. It doesn't cost you any fees ever. It's a top-rated firm in our region for guidance on your health care. Look, they care about you. Your insurance company, you're just an actuarial number. It's a fact, Jack. MediConnect treats you like top priority customers, and you are. 888-818-6334. MediConnect.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leaffilter.com/deal.
There is treatment for neuropathy. I'm Dr. Dawn Spalla. At Allegheny Health and Physical Medicine, we treat neuropathy patients daily. No drugs, no surgery, just relief. Call 724-224-2224 for a free consultation in our Sarver or Brackenridge locations.
All right, Goldberg, Persky, and White News Desk here again with a look at today's headlines. KDK Radio News anchor Paul Alexander. Paul?
Rob, a terrible construction accident today. We have details coming up. Top of the hour right here on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
Bloomberg Money Minute time again. Bloomberg Radio, KDKA Radio.
This is the Bloomberg Money Minute. Waymo's started offering accounts for teenagers ages 14 to 17. They're just available in Phoenix right now, but the company plans to ultimately expand and reach more riders. Rival Uber launched teen accounts in 2023. Stocks ended relatively flat today following President Trump's new tariff announcements, including a new 50% levy on copper. The Dow lost 166 points, about 0.4%. The Nasdaq added 6 points, up 0.03. The S&P down about a tenth, slipping 4 points. SpaceX is discussing plans to raise money and sell insider shares in a deal that would value Elon Musk's rocket and satellite maker around $400 billion. The valuation would mark a significant premium to SpaceX's share buyback in December. And tickets for the Miami Dolphins and Washington Commanders game in Madrid were just released as the NFL heads to Spain for the first time. Demand is high, so they're going to be a little pricier. Tickets start around $300. Monica Ricks, Bloomberg Radio.
Where Pittsburgh comes to talk. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
You know, speaking of football, and we love football, especially our Steelers, you know, Tim Rooney passed away, the nephew of the founding member of your Pittsburgh Steelers, Art Rooney. And I just wanted to take time to send out my thoughts and prayers. I did something social media-wise from the home studio earlier today. You know, the Rooneys really kind of feel like an extension of our family. I mean, it's just amazing the bond that Steeler Nation has with the Rooneys and that organization. But during that time in which he became a scout, they lured him away from Villanova, 1972 until his retirement in 1999. He basically helped that organization build that dynasty in the 70s. So I just obviously want to send out my thoughts and prayers. And, you know, speaking of the chief, I got to bring this up. A couple of things. First off, my friend, the late, great Joe Dentisi, his youngest, Joey Dentisi, is celebrating a birthday today, and they're having a nice family meal. And if I were not here on the radio, I would be with them. And I want to send Joey a hug through the radio airwaves. He's a really incredible friend and family member, if you will. But this is where it ties into the chief. And it's one of those Joe Dentisi stories that I tell people. I just told somebody the other day about it, that they just were laughing so hard. I mean, they just couldn't believe it. But if you knew Joe, this was what he was. He would just every once in a while throw something out there that would just make you go, what? He would call me like 10, 11 o'clock at night. We watched the Johnny Carson reruns, right, on Antenna TV, and Don Rickles would come out, and we would just laugh and carry on. And then he'd get serious, and he'd throw something out or whatever. And Joe was always looking to, you know, get a good deal, and he wanted it to be good for both sides, but he loved doing business, even when it came to buying his cemetery plot. And I remember him telling me, I got a great deal, family members, this, that, and whatever. And him and Joey would go to the movies and stuff on Sundays. And Joe was just a down-to-earth, really good guy, good husband. We miss his wife, Janet, Joey's mom, all the time. But this is where it kind of ties into the city of Pittsburgh. So Joe tells me when he's telling me about his family plots, he goes, you know where I'm buried next to, don't you? You know who I'm buried next to, do you? Don't you? And I'm like, who? He said, the chief. I said, Art Rooney. He said, yeah, Art Rooney. I'm like, Joe, now listen, I know you've done okay, but the chief's done okay, too. God rest his soul. I mean, you're in the same neighborhood, and we would laugh, and he'd bring it up every once in a while. Somebody talk about the Steelers, and he'd go, hey, my plot's not too far from the Chiefs. And this went on and on and on and on. And I obviously had no reason to visit the cemetery where Joe's plots were because everybody was still alive, right? Well, then Joe used to joke with me. He said, look, You got to go check to make sure the grass is growing, make sure the thing is, taken care of when I'm gone. And it was inside humor, and we loved each other. And that's why I know he would want me to wish Joey a happy birthday. So anyway, Joe is gone about a month, and I figured, you know what? I'm going to go check on the grass because I was going to the McKnight Road store. So I go into the cemetery, and I'm driving around, and I'm like, I thought I knew where it was because I was here, but where is it? So I parked my car in the general vicinity, and wouldn't you know it, I get out of my car, and as I'm taking that first step from the pavement, meaning the asphalt, into the grass, into this section at the cemetery, I look up, and there is the chief's monument, obviously, tombstone, if you will, died 1988. Well, I know if anybody else was in the cemetery and heard me like laughing uncontrollably, they probably thought, what's this knucklehead doing? But I was so impressed, and I thought, you know what? Two men cut from the same cloth. The School of Hard Knocks worked and, fought for everything. And, the other thing, Joe used to say to me, you know who shops at the McKnight Road store? And I'm like, who? He goes, Pat Rooney. So I tried, Dan's wife, right? So I tried, I can't tell you how many times to show up at the store. And I said, well, when is she usually there? When is she usually there? And I never really ran into her, but I don't know. Pittsburgh is a special place, man. It really is. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else other than where I am right now. And I absolutely love this radio station. You have to understand, as a kid growing up, man, it was everything. Pirate baseball. It was summertime to me. When I think back about summer and what was summer all about and what are my memories, it was always listening to the Pirates on KDKA radio. There wasn't a day that the radio wasn't in the background. We never shut the radio off. Imagine living in a world today where you had one thing constant in your life. You got into the car, it was already set on the radio, it was already on. Your dad would hit the ignition switch, and as the engine would flip over and turn over and the spark plugs would fire, bang, there was the airwaves, KDK radio, and you'd catch it in the middle of a newscast or a musical selection or a pirate baseball game. And this is a fact. You could literally, in my neighborhood, on a night like tonight, I'd be probably just getting ready to head on out to hang out with my friends, and we would be sleeping out, hanging out, playing baseball, basketball, riding our bikes, doing whatever. You could go from one yard to the next yard and not miss a single pitch of a Pirate game. Everybody outside on their porch, on their patio, because it was too hot to be inside. Dad had a cold beer, an Iron City Pounder, 16 ounce. Mom had a little highball, martini, whatever. They were both reading the newspaper, exchanging sections of the newspaper, them little kerosene tiki lights burning into the night, because you can have that little smell of kerosene wafting through the night air. But everybody took their kitchen radio, turned it around, put the speaker up against the screen, and Bob Prince, Nellie King, their voices, later Lanny, literally just bouncing off the treetops. It was just an amazing time to grow up in Pennsylvania. And that's why you hear me always talking about jobs and people having a good paycheck and being able to go on a vacation and buy that new Chevy or Ford. Look, when somebody got a new Chevy or Ford or Buick or whatever, Cadillac, a used Cadillac, by the way, in the neighborhood, man, we would all run over. We'd be like in their driveway for like an hour, listening to every detail down to the lug nuts on that car. Hey, open the hood. Nobody even knew what we were looking at, but it was a brand new Chevy or Ford that just rolled off the showroom floor. And you know why most families got a new car back in the day this time of year? Because they were getting ready to hit the road. No one flew. No one took a train. Everybody got in their car. And there was always that one family. This was the year. They were waiting for it. Dad had 4 weeks of vacation, and he took it all at once. And they were going to fill up that Chevy with gas or Ford, put a picnic basket in the back, and they were going to head for California. And once they got to California, what were they going to do? Turn around and come right back. See the world's largest ball of yarn and take Route 66, right? I'm telling you, man, life was cool back in the day. And it can be that way again if we just start getting some jobs where people can actually do some things. People say all the time, your dad didn't make a lot of money. We never went without food. We always went on a vacation, and we always had somebody hanging out in the neighborhood at night. It was a good time to grow up, and jobs made that all possible. All right, stay with us. Paul's got the news next, and then Burned by Rocky Patel. Big night tomorrow night for them, but they're here telling us all about it next on KDKA.
Honored to win the Marconi Award as the best news talk station in the country. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Partly sunny and 82 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 7 o'clock. I'm Paul Alexander. News brought to you by PJ Fitzpatrick. 45 years of experience and thousands of five-star reviews. TrustPJ.com. The U.S. Supreme Court has handed President Trump a win, effectively clearing the way for his efforts to downsize the federal workforce. CBS White House reporter Linda Kenyon has that story.
The justices said no specific cuts were at issue, just President Trump's executive order, directing agencies to cut jobs. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson dissented and said the court, quote, demonstrated enthusiasm for greenlighting this president's legally dubious actions in an emergency posture. She also warned of consequences, including widespread cancellation of federal services. Some 75,000 federal employees have been fired, resigned, or have been placed on leave. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The state attorney general's office has announced charges against a 40-year-old Allegheny County man who allegedly attempted to meet what he believed to be a 12-year-old child for sex. Authorities say Lane Allen Simpson of Pitcairn agreed to pay cash for sexual acts with a child, then went to an agreed-upon location to meet the child, where he was taken into custody. Agents say Simpson arrived at the location with cash, condoms, and candy. He was arraigned and denied bail. Police are investigating after a smash and grab at a vape shop in Brookline. Pittsburgh police were alerted by a burglary alarm at Cloud King in the 900 block of Brookline Boulevard just before 2:30 Tuesday morning. Officers found the front entrance had been rammed into several times by a vehicle. Video shows two men fully dressed in black getting out of an SUV and stealing money from the register, along with merchandise, before leaving the scene. The SUV used in the burglary was stolen in Dormont. Mayor Ed Gainey touts the launch of Parcels and At, a new tool allowing for easy public access of data regarding all parcels of land in Allegheny County through the Western Pennsylvania Data Center.
We built this tool to be able to serve municipalities, neighborhoods, and residents in Allegheny County. It's not just a data project. It's a reflection of our region and work together when we work collaboratively, transparently, to create tools that improve the overall quality of health in our region.
Gainey says Parcels and At is a powerful step toward in our commitment to transparency, innovation, and equitable development. Next year's federal budget bill includes a significant tax cut for seniors. News Radio KDK's Paul Rasmussen has more.
A temporary tax deduction of $6,000 will be in place for 2025 tax returns, and Progresso Group Chief Investment Officer Michael Godwin says it'll apply to a large number of taxpayers.
Early estimates are projecting that 88% of seniors, those people who are 65 and older, will pay nothing or much, much less in federal tax.
The so-called senior bonus is in addition to the standard and current 65-plus deductions through 2028. It will gradually phase out for single filers with incomes over $75,000 and joint returns over $150,000. Paul Rasmussen, News Radio KDKA.
KDK Sports brought to you by NASCO Roofing, Pittsburgh's trusted and passionate roofer. Call NASCO Roofing at 412-373-2000. Pirates and Royals tonight in Kansas City, Game 2 of their three-game set. First pitch set for 7:40. O'Neill Cruz will be a home run derby participant Monday in Atlanta as part of the All-Star festivities. KDK Radio News Time is 7:03. Time to call ABC Transit at 724-831-8500. Hiring for CDL and van drivers. Bonuses paid. Right now, it's partly sunny and 82 degrees in Pittsburgh. I'm Paul Alexander. Our next update at 7:30 on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
Americans spend $66 billion on weight loss products and services each year. And you know what? Right here in our hometown, Pittsburgh's very own board-certified and licensed hypnotherapist Dan Bitchoff has helped thousands of people do just that, lose weight, keep it off. In fact, he's been helping people take back control of their lives for more than 20 years here in Pittsburgh at the PA Hypnosis Center. You have an opportunity to do the same. Are you battling anxiety? So many people are. He can help you with that. If you want to quit smoking, Dan Bitchoff is the call you should make at the PA Hypnosis Center today. Schedule your pre-consultation at 724-934-8446, 724-934-8446. Dan can help you reach your goal with a 98% success guarantee. 724-934-8446. Call now.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures, until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive, so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
It will stay partly cloudy through tonight, a low of 63. We'll have a mix of sun and clouds for tomorrow. There could be an afternoon thunderstorm in spots, high 85. And then partly cloudy and muggy tomorrow night, a low of 68. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Brian Thompson at 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by Burn by Rocky Patel. Information on the program is intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information aired on the following program.
These are the people, the movers and shakers, the businesses, the people you know in your community who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Man, sometimes things just work in your favor, and this is why you want to come to work when you find out you got a couple of guys co-hosting, one from Little Washington, PA, the home of Guy Montecalvo, legendary high school football coach, and this guy from the east end of the city of Pittsburgh. If you're watching this interview stream live at kdkradio.com, click on KDK Watch. They're in the Metropolitan Window video screen. The guy way over to my right from the east end, Justin Johns. Look, the future is now when it comes to the cigar industry, and I'm really happy to have Burn by Rocky Patel here tonight. They got a big event coming up tomorrow. We have lots of stuff to get to, but first off, we got to do a little history. So, Colin, you're up first. Introduce yourself to everybody.
Hello, guys. I'm Colin Hennon, originally from Washington, Pennsylvania. I'm the concierge event coordinator at Burn by Rocky Patel.
All right, Justin, your turn. Go, man.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Justin Mondale. I am the assistant general manager at Burn by Rocky Patel. I've been there for about 6 years, and we're here to talk about some good stuff.
Yeah, we are. We got lots of good stuff to get to. But first, let's talk about the cigar industry, which has become a phenomenon. I've been around a long time, and this thing came creeping and crawling, and now it's taken a giant leap into the future. And to have a place like Burn by Rocky Patel on the North Shore amongst all of that fun, Colin, doesn't get much better than this, right?
Correct. Just like we were speaking earlier, so the cigar industry now, it's the bourbon of the 20s, as my co-host here would say. It's the new wave. They're popping up everywhere. But I like to think Burn, we stand out a little bit more than the rest of them.
Well, let me tell you something. It really is about, bringing the aficionado that incredible experience of luxury, but more importantly, this seamless fusion as far as cigars are concerned, vibrant music, live entertainment. I mean, a little bit for everyone. So, Justin, tell everybody exactly where you're located and what your hours are.
So we're located at 346 North Shore Drive, Pittsburgh, PA, 15212. And our hours are 2 p.m. to 2 a.m., Sunday to Sunday.
Do I get a hat like you have, man?
Absolutely.
That hat is
like my signature hat.
That hat is smoking. I love it. All right.
Thank you.
Now, so how long have you been open, Colin, at this location?
So April of 2018 is when Burn debuted opened its doors. So going on a little over 7 years now. No stopping. Hopefully 7 more.
So, Justin, tell everybody about this event you're happening and how people can get one of those locker room keys. Go ahead.
So we have a locker member event every second Wednesday of the month. All you have to do is come down, come talk to our humidor manager, Raymond Buckner, and he can sign you up for a locker. The locker prices are $2,000 for an initial fee, and then to renew, it's $1,850, but it comes with a ton of discounts. And we also have catered dinners. We have live music. We have wine samplers, liquor samplers, and cigar samplers as well. So it's definitely a good thing for you guys to come and join us because we have a great time, and it's once a month.
Listen, isn't it amazing? You think about, and I've been around long enough, as you gentlemen have as well, when Steelers and everybody got together and the folks who had the Pirates said, we're going to put this little city within the city. And I watched it go from just a slab of concrete to watch one building after another. And really, what you have on the North Shore, and we were talking about some of the people you're with as far as other owners of businesses and entrepreneurs and proprietors. Colin, it's like another city within a city, is it not?
Oh, absolutely. North Shore, I mean, Pirate games, Steeler games, concerts, events, that's the place to be. And Burn, we offer you something everywhere else doesn't, We have a great ambiance. We have a patio, indoor, outdoor, high ceilings, live bands, music, DJs, and so on and so on, honestly.
Why do you think this has become such a big thing? Even with younger people, everybody's got to take time to have a cigar, especially how cigars have really replaced the traditional 3 martini happy hours. You got to have cigars. Why is that, Justin?
I think it's because it's the new thing to do. Just like Colin was saying, that the bourbon of the 2020s. It's something that had kind of disappeared in the middle of the 20th century, but it's back with a revenge. So I think it's a great thing. Younger people are getting into the smoking cigars and learning and actually seeing exactly how the tobacco is cured, how the cigars are rolled, and also they have some brand favorites, and hopefully we're one of them.
So the name Burn by Rocky Patel, talk about the name a little bit.
So Burn stands for just burning.
Absolutely.
We always say you're burning money, but at the same time, we know we have a great product. You're burning cigars. It's a great place for people to talk, to enjoy a nice cocktail, any spirit. We have a wide range of spirits at our bar. Also, we have wine as well, and we also have, just like I said, cigars. We have a great selection, and we just hope for you to come down and burn one with us.
Isn't it amazing? I like that. Isn't it amazing how many entertainers you think of that were recognized because of holding a cigar. George
Absolutely.
Burns, David Letterman,
Correct.
Bill Cosby, all these people.
Definitely.
So when you think about it, they've been around a long time and they've kept it alive, but something has kicked in, and I think baby boomers kind of started it, but it's Generation XYZ, these millennials especially, they love this stuff, Justin.
Absolutely, because I think when people see somebody holding a cigar, they think about success. They think about an industry. They think about the people at the top of that industry. And they think about those guys having business meetings in a place like burning a cigar, and talking about things that help people progress.
You know what I love the most about cigar? I love the smell, but what I really love are all the cool lighters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That, to me, that's worth just hanging out at a place like Burned by Rocky Patel, just to see who's got the coolest lighter.
Absolutely. And we have a lifetime warranty on ours, too. So
Nice.
just want to throw that in there.
So here's the thing. Next time, bring me a lighter.
Absolutely.
All right.
I'll bring you two.
Nice, man. All right. Do me a favor, Colin. Remind everybody what we're going to be doing tomorrow night at your incredible location on the North Shore, and strategically where you're located. Give them some landmarks. Go ahead.
Well, so we're located right next to Tequila Cowboy and Burgatory, right in the middle. You can't miss it. Burned by Rocky Patel. Tomorrow, Justin, what do we got going? We
have a locker member event. So we have locker member appreciation tomorrow at 7:00. So if you're a locker member at Burn or you want to become a locker member, come on down to Burn by Rocky Patel. We are going to take care of you. We specialize in hospitality. We have some great stuff going on. And just like I said, we have some music playing. We have nice food to be catered. It's great. And the ambience. You want to be in the right place at the right time, and that's Burn. So
these little cigar places are popping up everywhere, but what you have is so unique.
Yes.
And that price to become a member, that's really incredibly reasonable.
Yes, I think it's extremely affordable because it's a splash of the high life. So I would say that for $2,000, being in a place like Burn where you can network, you're going to meet people from all walks of life, all demographics, and you're going to be able to have a conversation with these people potentially. I was just talking to two gentlemen in our humidor, and they worked as accounting. They were tax associates at one of the big four accounting firms. And there was a guy that walked in, and he actually worked for Goldman Sachs and offered him a job.
Nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity in cigars, not just smoking cigars, but also just the people that you'll meet.
Networking, man.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. We're going to take a break. We got lots more to get to with these gentlemen. It's Burned by Rocky Patel, their big event tomorrow night. Lots of other things to tell you about and why you need to get one of those lockers and get going now. It's your Pratt Pack. Back with more Pittsburgh Works. Burned by Rocky Patel tonight on KDKA Radio.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm, I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars Lose the Weight, Stop Smoking Early Bird Special, $49.99. Seminars Wednesday, July 23rd, Hilton Garden in Pittsburgh, Granbury in Cranberry Township, or Thursday, July 24th, Holiday Inn Express and Suites, Pittsburgh West in Greentree. Weight loss at 5:30 p.m. Stop Smoking seminar at 8.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248 today.
If you have been in a car accident in the past and have settled your case, I may have some good news. Some unethical lawyers have people known as runners who come directly to your hospital room or home and solicit your case. It's a disbarable offense. Anyone that would hire these scumbags needs to have their heads examined. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Now for the good news. If this happened to you, we will sue these lowlifes and fight to get all your fees back. And then look and see if these bottom feeders also malpracticed your case and sue them for that too. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Visit forthepeople.com for a free consultation or call Pound Law on your cell, pound 529. If someone does this to you, call the Bar Association and report them. Let's fight these bums. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Over 65 and still on your employer's health insurance? Not sure what's best for you to do? Dina Schmidt and her team of professionals from One Health Benefits provide excellent advice on the best options for your needs. One Health Benefits has been providing people with customized health benefit choices for over 2 decades. You only know what you know, so let Dina and the One Health Benefits experts help you with what they know. Call One Health Benefits today. 724-799-8873. Learn more at onehealthbenefits.com.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
You know, both these guys got great personalities. Must be the smoke. Must be the atmosphere. I don't know, but it works. Burned by Rocky Patel. Justin and Colin are here. So, again, tell them about tomorrow night and how they can be a part of it. Go ahead.
Tomorrow night is our locker member appreciation event. It's every second Wednesday of the month. You guys are more than welcome to come down. We have live instrumentation. We also have food. We have wine samples, cigar samples, and the like. We will be starting the event at 7 o'clock, and it will end at 10 o'clock promptly. I encourage you guys to come down.
All right, Colin, tell me a little bit about why people should want to be a part of this year-round. Let's talk about the cigar and hospitality industry and what it's all about at Burned by Rocky Patel. Why should people want to do this? Go ahead.
Well, I think first and foremost, unlike your average cigar place, it's the space that we have. Burn, it's a huge, I believe, 18,000 square feet space, open floor plan, high ceilings. We have a live music from 7 to 10 on the weekends, a DJ from 10 to 2 afterwards. We offer small plates, food. We do catering. Locker member appreciation nights, young professional nights. We also do that where we have a young professional from the city come in, speak about what they do. They'll do a little Q&A afterwards. It's just a great networking event. It's just a multitude of things. We can host events. We can host parties privately. It's just the space offers a little bit of everything.
You know, Justin, what I've realized about cigars, it brings people from all walks of life.
It does.
That's another thing.
That's very true.
It's like a little neighborhood.
It is.
And it's a great clique to be involved in. As you said, when it comes to networking, it's still the greatest way to be able to know what's going on in your community and have an opportunity to advance in your community.
Absolutely.
All right, talk about some of the best when it comes to Rocky Patel cigars. Go ahead.
All right, so Rocky Patel has a nice lineup. He has a cigar called the Conviction, which is a $100 cigar, but it is a one and only. Okay, Rocky Patel cigars have a pretty decent price point. They're usually between $10 and $12, roughly speaking. But this conviction is a one-on-one. So the thing about it is, once it's here now, and you guys got to get it while you can. It's a great stick. It's a smooth smoke, but it also has the value of a $100 experience, which is nice. Rocky Patel also offers the Year of the Snake, which is, it's about 1/3 of the conviction. I would say it's a good smoke. It's great, but it has a great price point as well. He also has a white label, which is a Connecticut shade. That is really nice. It comes in 4 sizes. He has a gold label, which is one of my personal favorites, and a half Corona. And also he has the Emerald he recently released as well.
Isn't it amazing the knowledge, how people know these cigars? They know everything about them. It's like
absolutely
owning a car. They know every piece of machinery when it comes to putting those cigars together.
100%. You kind of nerd out on the cigar aficionado lifestyle. So you get to a space where you're really interested, because you can start tasting the notes and each hit, the flavors. You start to get to know the guys that are the big players in the industry, and also you just get your favorites. You know, everybody has a following. So,
and I almost forgot one other athlete, and I should have remembered first. He is the guy, Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what that guy's done for the cigar industry.
Oh,
yes, 100%.
And people who love to golf while enjoying a great cigar.
Absolutely. Golf and cigars go hand in hand. We were just at the U.S. Open. We were passing out cigars as well.
At Oakmont, nice.
Yep. Absolutely. We paired up with Doers, and we did some events, and we had a dinner. We also brought some cigars to the U.S. Open. We watched golf. We had a great time. We passed out some of Rocky's favorites, and it was definitely a good experience.
Listen, Rocky Patel is a name that people know across the country and throughout the world. But the other thing that I've noticed, in just about every professional athlete locker room when they win a championship, that's the first thing they do. Jalen Hurt, all of them, man. I mean, that's become the thing. So why do you think so many young people? I mean, because these guys are young. Why?
Well, it's trendy, and it represents success. Cigars are one of those things where...
That's exactly why.
If you look at a traditional cigar smoker, myself, I love Lanceros, because 1/3 of the cigar cost is in the wrapper and also the taste. However, most of the people that you see smoke cigars smoke it in a traditional Toro. And the reason is because it's an aesthetics thing. It's saying, I'm smoking a big cigar, I'm big and bad, I'm successful, and it draws people in.
It does. Not like them plastic tips that I used to use when I was a kid. Oh, man. This sounds like a really cool, hip place there, Colin. I mean, this is an experience people are going to want to be a part of, right?
Trust me. You're not going to get the feeling of it until you come down and see for yourself.
Now, can you host an event there?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, what can somebody do there if they want to put together something?
We can do private events. We can do a partnership. We had fraternities down, and we had a fraternity day for them.
We do wine and bourbon tastings.
That's right.
For the Steeler games, a lot of people want to do tailgates down there on the patio. Oh, it's one of them, many things.
And don't forget, we'll come to you as well. We do offsites.
So look, this month my dad has been gone 25 years, but there were certain things my dad loved, and I used to get to be guest bartender more times than not. I always joke, if you didn't get to my house by 5 o'clock, you had to pay a cover charge. Because so I would get that water glass, and he'd say, "All right, fill it half up with his bourbon." 1 cube, that's it. Okay. And he'd give me a little sip every once in a while. I'd go, "Dad," he goes, "you'll learn to appreciate it." That's another thing that I know I'm turning into my father, not only chronologically, the way I look, my receding hairline, the whole works, but I actually like bourbon.
Yeah.
That's another thing that's become like off the charts.
Yeah, and cigars pair well with it, so.
Very well.
So you have all those exquisite spirits too?
We do. We have all type of wines and spirits, so.
It's good to be you, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
It's a dream job in the dream world, you know.
Well, listen, if you ever leave that, I think I could find another career for you. You could be sitting behind this microphone.
Oh, thank you.
All right, when we come back, we're going to talk much more with these gentlemen. But again, introduce yourself. Tell everybody who you are.
I am Justin Mondale Johns. I am the Assistant General Manager of Burn by Rocky Patel on the North Shore.
All right, and you are?
Colin Hennon. I am the concierge and events coordinator at Burn by Rocky Patel.
All right, tell them what we're doing tomorrow night.
Locker member appreciation. Come on down, 7 to 10.
All right, give them a phone number.
Phone number 412-586-5854.
All right, man. Listen, we got lots more to burn up before we're done tonight, so stay with us. Burn by Rocky Patel All right, still to come tonight, State Senator Kim Ward will be here. We'll be talking about a lot of things, including the economy in the state of Pennsylvania and that budget bill that was recently passed by the president. Then we'll have some open talk up until 10 o'clock. So we are just underway. Paul Alexander is at the anchor desk. He's got the latest news coming up at 7:30, and then we're coming back with Colin and Justin and more. Burned by Rocky Patel in their big event tomorrow night, but you should be a part of them every day, and we'll continue to remind you how you can do that when we get back on the other side of the news, which is just a few minutes away on KDKA 100.1 FM, AM 1020. It's your Pratt Pack. Good evening.
Fire doesn't wait, and neither should you. When disaster strikes, call Service Master of Greater Pittsburgh. Fire damage? Demand the yellow van.
Demand the yellow van. Call Service Master.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Colin Dunlap on KDKA.
First offense, 15 years hard labor camp. Second offense, guillotine or firing squad. Those are your two choices. There is nothing more self-important on this earth than people who are in public spaces who are talking on the phone with it on speakerphone.
Weekdays 2 to 6 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Life-changing medicine is happening every day at UPMC Heart and Vascular Institute.
We have the luxury to be bold, to continue to be pioneers in the world for innovative heart care.
We are the place of discovery. Literally, the world experts in cardiac care are in this institution.
By combining technology, research, and the latest innovations, patients from all over the world come to UPMC.
Because of the expertise that exists here at UPMC, it allows us to take on patients that have been turned down at other centers.
We offer unique heart procedures that you cannot get anywhere else.
One of our founding mantras is that compassion has to be at the forefront of everything that we do.
From leading the region in cardiac procedures to being the only center in the state to offer integrated women's health and heart care, UPMC is pioneering life-changing cardiac care every day. Your heart care matters. Visit upmc.com/heart to learn more.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Partly sunny and 81 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 7:30. I'm Paul Alexander. North Huntington Township Police have confirmed that 53-year-old Brian Kiefer of Indian Head was killed after being hit by a large construction cleaning truck Tuesday morning. Another person was injured and treated and released from the hospital. The accident happened near Route 993 and Quality Way near Irwin. It was first considered to be a vehicle crash, but it's now been determined it was a construction accident. Pittsburgh Regional Transit has closed a portion of the Red Line for a scheduled rail replacement project. News Radio KDK's Tamara Rush has those details.
PRT will temporarily close a portion of the Red Line for 2 weeks starting today. Riders traveling inbound to downtown Pittsburgh between Overbrook Junction and Westfield stations are advised to take the outbound Red Line shuttle to Overbrook Junction, walk to Willow Station, and board any blue, silver, or detoured Red Line train into the city. Riders traveling outbound to South Hills destination should use the Red Line shuttle to Overbrook Junction, then board regular service. The work is scheduled to continue through July 19th. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
Beginning today, air travelers nationwide no longer have to remove their shoes during TSA security checks. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem with the announcement at a D.C. area airport, who was asked if every airport across the country has the capability of stopping someone from having something bad like a bomb in their shoe.
We've gone back and evaluated this process and how we screen individuals and looked at the efficacy of it and making sure that everything that we do matters. And if it is something that is beneficial, that helps us in the screening process, we will continue to do it. So there will be individuals at times that will be asked to remove their shoes.
Not every airport has green-lighted this, but Pittsburgh International recently told us that they have. If you're traveling through Pittsburgh International, you will not have to remove your shoes as you go through the screening process. A popular shortcut to the eastern suburbs is closed for construction. News Radio KDK's Greg McAtee has details.
In Penn Hills, Halton Road is closed between Cessna Lane and Indiana Road for a slide repair and shoulder reconstruction project. Traffic is being detoured via Indiana Road. The work is set to wrap up and the road reopened by the end of this month. Greg McAtee, News Radio, KDKA.
KDK Sports, Pirates and Royals just about 7 minutes away from first pitch in Kansas City. And O'Neill Cruz will compete in the Home Run Derby as part of the All-Star festivities. That is Monday in Atlanta. KDK Radio News Time, 7:32. Our next update at 8 o'clock. I'm Paul Alexander, and the voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
Have you been told there is nothing that can be done for your neuropathy? Tri-State Neuropathy Centers is pleased to tell you that's not true. As one of the largest and most successful neuropathy treatment practices in the country, Tri-State Neuropathy Centers has grown to 9 regional centers and helped over 14,000 patients, like Bill from Mars. Bill's neuropathy got so bad he couldn't sleep due to the pain and was losing his balance, causing him to have frequent falls. Then Bill found Tri-State Neuropathy Centers. Their effective FDA-approved treatment program greatly improved Bill's neuropathy, and now he's sleeping through the night, can feel his feet again, and has no more pain. Listen to Bill's complete story at marydanston.com. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers help Bill along with thousands of others. Let them help you next. Call 724-940-9000. That's 724-940-9000. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers, the leader in treating peripheral neuropathy.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code MOVE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code MOVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code MOVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking now without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back.
Totally changed my life.
It's amazing.
I don't have any cravings.
You want to quit, but have found it impossible? This is the thing for you. I have absolutely no craving. It's the darndest thing I have ever seen in my life.
It's not for entertainment. It's for results.
Do it. It works. Period.
You've tried everything else. You need to come and try this.
Early bird special, only $49.99. No irritability, no cravings. Because don't just cut down, but stop smoking once and for all. In addition, use hypnosis to lose all the weight and destroy unwanted cravings. Seminars Wednesday, July 23rd at the Hilton Garden in Cranberry Township, or Thursday, July 24th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, Pittsburgh, West and Green Tree. Weight loss seminar, 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar, 8 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
Summer storms can spell disaster for your roof and more. At Home Genius Exteriors, we stop the damage before it starts. Call now during our summer savings event and get 50% off materials for your new roof. Plus, get no interest and no payments till 2027. Call Home Genius Exteriors at 855-UR-GENIUS to schedule your free roof and attic inspection. That's 855, the letter U, the letter R, Genius. Home Genius Exteriors, the genius choice in roofing. See website for details.
Don't delay in getting that plumbing repair done. Call Palucci Plumbing today for all of your plumbing needs. From trenchless sewer repair and waterline repairs and replacement, hot water tanks, sewer camera inspections, to Pittsburgh potty repairs, no job is too small for Palucci Plumbing. Owners Amy and Nick Palucci have been in business for 26 years, so give them a call for your next plumbing repair or replacement. Palucci Plumbing, 412-782-5050. That's 412-782-5050.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
The sky will turn out partly cloudy tonight. We'll get down to 63 for an overnight low. It's going to be a humid day tomorrow with times of clouds and sunshine. There could be an afternoon thunderstorm, high 85. Still humid Thursday with some sun and a thunderstorm, high 80. For AccuWeather, I'm Brian Thompson, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
The following is paid for by Burn by Rocky Patel.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
I just made an executive decision, gentlemen. We need to take my show one night over to Burn by Rocky Patel. What do you think, Justin?
Oh, I think that's awesome.
Wouldn't that be great?
100%.
All right. Introduce yourself to everyone. Go ahead.
I am Justin Mondale Johns. I am the Assistant General Manager of Burn by Rocky Patel on the North Shore.
And you, Colin, go ahead.
Colin Hennon, Concierge Events Coordinator at Burn by Rocky Patel.
All right, we're going to get back to the big event tomorrow night, but we got to talk about something for the ladies, because I told both of these gentlemen I know a number of women who enjoy cigars, so I have to talk about that opportunity that you have waiting for them as well. Go ahead.
It's called MAM, Mimosas After Morning. So we want you guys to come down on July 20th from 12 to 3. We have tickets for sale. If you get them in the store, it's $35. If you purchase online, it'll be $45. We'll have a mimosa flight. We will have a ton of cigars to choose from. Also have a live DJ. It'll be hosted on our patio. So I want you guys to come out and enjoy the weather with us on North Shore Drive on our patio. So come down July 20th.
Real quick,
Go ahead,
the one
Colin.
who's hosting that she's actually works at Burn too. Her name is Gianna Clark. She works for us. She's going to be the one kind of throwing that event.
So this business of enjoying a good cigar, everyone, women, men, young, not so young, it's become a global phenomenon.
Absolutely. We want to get a lot of women involved because we notice that women, when they come to our establishment, they love it. They have a great time. They try their first cigar. They're pulled in, and all of a sudden, they become a repeat customer. So, yeah, all shapes, all sizes.
All right, tell them about the event coming up tomorrow night and how they can be a part of it.
Locker Member Appreciation at Burn by Rocky Patel. It's every second Wednesday of the month. We will have live music. We will have wine and liquor samples. We'll also have deals on Rocky Patel cigars and infused cigars. It's for our Locker Member Appreciation. We encourage everybody to join, and the reason is because there's so much benefit to the program. It's a $2,000 a year fee, but after the first year, it's $1,850. However, you get tons of discounts, and it really pays for itself over time. We encourage our locker members to come down and host parties there and have a good time with us every weekend. So,
you know, the thing that I always loved about the industry that you're in, and that was like a secret passion of mine. Someday I wanted to be involved in that fine wine and good spirits industry. Didn't work out, but I still appreciate it. But what I've always loved about it are the regulars.
Yes.
The people that you can count on, even when there's like a half a foot of snow on the ground, they seem to walk through your doors. And you build these relationships, Justin, that really they become family members.
Absolutely. One handshake at a time. The regulars are the reason we keep the lights on. They are the people that pay our bills. They are the people that support us the most. They are the people that we can count on. We love our regulars, and we encourage you guys to become regulars if you're not. So,
you know, isn't it also kind of neat when you come in and they already know what you're going to drink?
Absolutely.
And they put that little ashtray out in front of you.
That's right. That's our specialty.
Oh, man, I'm telling you.
Cheers all over again.
It is, man. It really is. I mean, when you think about, some of the best times in my life I've had at those neighborhood establishments.
Absolutely.
Looking for the neon light, and you walk in, hey, how was your day? And you actually become even closer. And I'm sure the fine wine and good spirits have something to do with it, where you kind of you lean on people a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
You need some advice. You need some help. Relationship, whatever. That's what it's all about.
Yes,
man.
It's about community. It builds a bigger sense of community. You get to meet people from all over the world because we have travelers that come in and they come right down to the North Shore and they say, hey, we heard about you guys. And it's an opportunity every single time you walk in the building.
And not to say that you guys don't have a little bit of clout being from around here, but when you hear the name Rocky Patel, and if you like cigars, you're Googling it, that's where you're going.
Absolutely.
When you land at the airport or you come in on Amtrak or, however you get to Pittsburgh, that's your first stop.
Absolutely.
All right. Now, I want to talk about some other things, too. This is really a cool opportunity to find out about what's happening in our city. And, sadly, it seems like only the negative stuff gets talked about. But, when it comes to safety in the city, and I think both you guys will agree, the North Shore is an oasis, man. I've never had any concern going to ball games, hanging out late at night, covering games, what have you. Talk about that unique spot that is the North Shore and why it feels like home.
Well, I think the North Shore has a unique place in Pittsburgh because it's new, number one. It's fairly new compared to some of the other places that have been around or have been the place to go in the, in the past. However, the North Shore, it's clean. We have a variety of people that come down. We have a lot of tourism. Also, we have 2 stadiums and an event center in our vicinity. So it just makes people feel at home. People look at the place and they say, wow, this is new, it's fresh, and it gives Pittsburgh a new name.
And Rob, I'll give you an example. July 4th, this past Friday. It was 1 million people down there, not one incident. They had so many police just walking up and down. You never felt anything wild was going to happen not one time.
Yeah,
for the amount of people.
Let's talk about the good aspect of the city, right, man?
Yes, absolutely.
I love Pittsburgh. One of my favorite things to do when I hosted Pirate Sunday for 10 years was to walk across what is now the Clementi Bridge and just overlooking the city. The great thing, if you're at the Wyndham, you're here for the weekend or you're on business, go and walk over. You can grab the channel, get a cab. Yeah. You're right there, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that I always say it's the bridge to somewhere as opposed to nowhere. You go over any of those bridges, you swoop down on the North Shore. There's something for everyone over there.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of Hollywood in Pittsburgh.
Go make a little money at the casino and come on over to your place and burn one.
That's absolutely.
All right. Tell them about the event tomorrow night. We're going to come back and kind of put a big bow on this thing and really overlook everything we talked about, but more importantly, continue to pound some of the things that you need to know about when it comes to Burn by Rocky Patel. Tell them about the event tomorrow night. Don't miss this event.
Locker Member Appreciation Night, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock to 10. We want everyone to come down, ask about our memberships, ask about what all the savings you can have on it. It's just going to be a great event.
All right, good stuff, guys. Can't wait to come back, wrap it up. We'll go back and talk about some of the things you may have missed if you're just tuning in. But don't forget, we always podcast these shows, too. So go to kdkradio.com, click on audio, podcast, KDK On Demand, and you can hear this broadcast from the very beginning in case you're just tuning in now. We'll be back with more with Colin and Justin in just a moment. It's Burn by Rocky Patel with your Pratt Pack tonight on KDKA 100.1 FM, AM 1020.
The KDKA Mobile News Fleet is driven by Jim Shorkey Kia, North Huntington and Wexford. JimShorkeyKia.com.
Did you miss this week's Allegheny Health Network Medical Frontiers? Log on to the Allegheny Health Network website to listen to your favorite Medical Frontier show. Visit ahn.org/Medical Frontiers podcast and look for your favorite Medical Frontiers show.
Lynn just loves the summers in Pittsburgh, but she hates the pain, so she called Rhino Shield.
It is a single-wide manufactured home. We moved from our home, which we had the Rhino Shield on. Rhino Shield was what we were going to do. That was no question. We knew we were going to do it.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating. It's not paint, it's better.
The Rhino Shield representative came and we discussed what we wanted done. And this time we had the roof done as well.
Formulated for our specific climate here in Indy and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty.
We truly believe in this product.
And right now you can get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 10% off the regular price. Plus, there's more great news. Rhino Shield has partnered with Green Sky Financing to offer affordable monthly payments with 0% interest loans to qualified customers. Here's Rhino Shield Shane Smith.
Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint. Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
There is treatment for neuropathy. I'm Dr. Dawn Spalla. At Allegheny Health and Physical Medicine, we treat neuropathy patients daily. No drugs, no surgery, just relief. Call 724-224-2224 for a free consultation in our Sarver or Brackenridge locations.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
At a time when children are in crisis, the Kids Mental Health Foundation envisions a future where mental health is a vital part of growing up, and support starts with all of us. At home, at school, at practice, everywhere kids are.
If you're at school having a bad day, you just don't want to do anything.
I just get these thoughts like, do better. All my little emotions in my head is just running crazy. I don't know what to do.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed?
He's just in tears in the huddle. I was like, what's wrong? And he's just like, I'm just so frustrated, and I didn't know what to do.
None of my undergraduate studies talked about mental health.
Teachers need tons of help. The Kids Mental Health Foundation is the leading organization promoting mental health for children in the U.S. and has free tools and information developed by experts.
Having those resources is the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
Check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
You can't escape a traffic jam. Know what else you can't escape? Seasonal allergies. And you might think you can avoid that coffee stain until... Oh, really? You can't escape a lot of things in life, but you can escape prediabetes. Prediabetes captures 1 in 3 adults. There are usually no signs of prediabetes. In fact, most people don't even know they have it. But with early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Take action by taking the 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. You might not be able to escape having this song stuck in your head, but you can escape prediabetes. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, listen, I just got the best news of the night. So when I get off at 10 o'clock at night, I could just shoot right down to the North Shore. Something that has happened in America that we've got to change the outlook. Neon lights do not, in many communities, burn after 10 o'clock at night, but Burn by Rocky Patel does. So, Justin, you're 2 to 2.
2 to 2.
That's what I'm talking
Every day of the week. Come and see us.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, Colin is here. Justin is here. Burn by Rocky Patel. So what have we learned about this incredible establishment over the last 45-plus minutes?
We've learned that it's a fantastic place, that we have much to offer. We are looking for potential clients, customers, and the like. We have a great ambience. We have great cigars, great spirits. Come down and see us, guys. Burn by Rocky Patel.
Tell them about tomorrow night. This is the big ticket item. You're going to have a lot of fun if you go.
Locker membership appreciation. We appreciate our locker members. We appreciate our people that come and keep the lights on, and we're going to have a good time. We're going to have live music. We're going to have food. We're going to have deals on Rocky Patel cigars and infused cigars. Come on down, guys, and enjoy some great cigars and spirits with us from 7 to 10.
You know your mom's listening to her baby, so you got to give her a little bit of love. Give your mom some love.
Love you, Mom.
There you go. All right, Colin, what have we learned about Burn by Rocky Patel? Go ahead.
Listen, there's something for everybody there. Man, woman, we're even pet friendly on the patio. But no, I first started going there, about 4 years ago. I wanted something different, and it's just we offer a different vibe than everywhere else in the city. That's about it.
Can you tell him about somebody famous who was down there we were talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
We have a couple famous locker members down
Go ahead.
Yeah. So we were just smoking with Marlon Wayans.
You didn't call me. One of my all-time favorites, that family.
I know. Next time.
Yeah. Man, great stuff. Go ahead. Who else?
Great time. So I met Coolio before he died. I met the rapper Tech Nine. There's a lot of people that just come through the building as well.
Curtis Aiken is also... The pit legend is also a locker
He may
member.
be the biggest star of the bunch.
Oh,
100%. He might be.
But listen, think about the people that have walked through your door. So here's the deal. You're a locker member or you're there. You never know any given day or night who's
you're going to
see.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And that's the beautiful thing. There's always some type of serendipitous situation that happens at Burn. You just walk in and all of a sudden, there you go. We had Chingy there not too long ago. Just a lot of people walk through that door. You wouldn't expect a small city like Pittsburgh to get so much traffic. But when the traffic comes, they stop by Burn.
Listen. Yep. I'm the only 68-year-old that you know who knows every one of those artists that you've just mentioned. Wow. And I've listened to their music, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Listen, the other thing that I want to remind people, you're always moving towards the future.
Yes.
Evolving. So what is the plans as far as Burn by Rocky Patel future plans? Do you have some things you're working on?
Absolutely. Bigger and better each and every time. So we have new events coming up. We have an event with Oliva Cigars. It's a Blanc dinner. We're gonna have a nice dinner. Everybody's gonna be dressed in white. We're gonna do white wine as the theme. We also have football season coming up. You guys getting ready to go to the game? Come on down. Stop on down at Burn by Rocky Patel. Enjoy a smoke, a beer, a cocktail before the game and after.
And the brunch.
Hey,
and a brunch as well.
Can you imagine what it's going to be like next April with the draft?
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. We're preparing.
Yes.
We're already getting phone calls.
Yes.
We're
The phone's
already
ringing
getting
off
phone
the
calls.
Let me tell you how big it is. I have a friend who manages a Hilton Garden Inn in Cranberry.
Okay.
Sold out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Listen, you guys have to just get a hotel room if you can.
100%. We're telling everybody to hold on to their horses because we're going to have a ton of people down on the North Shore, and also we have some bookings for our patio already, plus the building. So, just like I said, you guys stop on by during the NFL draft next year and come see us.
Listen, stars are aligned. I was talking earlier about the passing of Tim Rooney, the nephew of the chief, okay, and sending out my thoughts and prayers. But who really made cigar smoking famous in the city of Pittsburgh? The chief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. He'd have been down there at Burn.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Go to Mass, come over and burn one at Rocky Patel.
That's right.
I mean, it's crazy how this stuff just all kind of lines up together, isn't it?
Absolutely.
That's a little great city that we call Pittsburgh. All right, again, let's promote tomorrow night, go over some numbers and things that people need to know, and then we're going to get ready to go to the news. So, Justin, take it away. Final minute or so is all yours.
Okay, so tomorrow night, we have a locker member appreciation event from 11 to 10 p.m. You can reach us at 412-586-5854 or get in contact with us via email at pghreservation@burnbyrockypatel.com.
Colin, go ahead. Give you a little bit of time here. We got a couple minutes.
Yeah. So any event, any party, anything you want to try to book at Burn, again, PGH reservation at burnbyrockypatel.com. We welcome everybody. Come see us. You won't be disappointed.
All right. Now we're going to do one more sports-related thing because we gave Curtis Aiken some love.
Okay.
Who's the greatest football player to ever play at Wash High who never made it to the bigs but could have done it easily? Go ahead.
I'll take that one. His name would be Brian Davis.
So I made Guy Montecalvo one time get me the 8mm film. This is long before videotape.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you right now, faster than a speeding bullet, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. That guy was unbelievable.
And listen, he was the center on the Wash High State winning basketball championship also at 5'10". He was the center. He played center for us when they won the states in 84 and 86.
Where else would you want to live than right here, man?
That's right. Southwestern Pennsylvania.
Listen, isn't it also ironic that for some reason, no matter how bad your day has gone, when you burn one by Rocky Patel, everything just chills out?
Absolutely. After the smoke clears, guess what? Everything else does too.
I know where you two are going to go.
Absolutely.
Right down there to the North Shore. Listen, it's been a real treat. I hope you come back. This has been a real honor to have you in the building. And anytime we're promoting the entrepreneurial spirit and giving people a good alternative to something that we all need every once in a while, chill time, great cigar, great ambience, the music, live entertainment, exquisite spirits, and that big night tomorrow night, I think everything's good in the neighborhood.
Absolutely.
All right, there they go. Colin, Justin, Burned by Rocky Patel. Find out more. Follow them on the social media platform, maybe Facebook, or go to their website and check out what they can do for you. Paul's coming up next with the news.
The proceeding was paid for by Burned by Rocky Patel. Information on the program was intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information heard on the preceding program. Give your liver the support it needs with Active Liver. Go to NORDICUSA.com, Amazon, or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS. New you, new Nordic.
Tickets are on sale now for the upcoming season of the Pittsburgh Speaker Series presented by University of Pittsburgh and Heinz Hall with Dr. Anthony Fauci, Malcolm Gladwell, historian Doris Kearns Goodwin, former National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster, National Geographic photographer Christina Mittermeier, former Russian political prisoner Vladimir Kara-Murza, and geopolitical economist Pippa Malmgren. For information and tickets, go to pittsburghspeakers.org, sponsored by News Radio KDKA and the Spanos Group of Raymond James.
Your bathroom's got to go, the vanity's decayed, and toilet's really old. The bathtub's giving way, give Bath R Us a ring. Call morning, noon, or night. You do not have to wait to get your bathroom right.
Call Baths R Us for your free estimate and enter to win our Christmas in July $12,500 bathroom remodel with an additional savings of up to $3,000 plus low to no monthly payments. 412-556-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
At California Psychics, we know that sometimes you can wake up thinking,
I don't know if I'm in the right career, or the right relationship.
But whatever your life dilemma, at California Psychics, we'll give you the guidance you need to feel certain about your life choices. And because we only connect you with the very best, we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. California Psychics. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com today for limited time offers.
Hey, folks, it's Marty. Look, with Medicare, this is important stuff, and there's never one size fits all. That's the beauty of MediConnect. That's why I love the company. The folks at MediConnect, they'll sit down with you in your home or in the office, anywhere you wish, to answer Medicare questions and compare plans with your current situation. There is never, ever a fee for their services. And they got 70 different plans. Medicare made simple. MediConnect, 888-818-6334.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Partly sunny and 80 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 8 o'clock. I'm Paul Alexander. The U.S. Supreme Court has handed President Trump a win, effectively clearing the way for his efforts to downsize the federal workforce. CBS White House reporter Linda Kenyon has that story.
The justices said no specific cuts were at issue, just President Trump's executive order, directing agencies to cut jobs. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson dissented and said the court, quote, demonstrated enthusiasm for greenlighting this president's legally dubious actions in an emergency posture. She also warned of consequences, including widespread cancellation of federal services. Some 75,000 federal employees have been fired, resigned, or have been placed on leave. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
City leaders and Southside business owners are reacting to last weekend's incident on East Carson Street, where people in a large crowd threw fireworks and rocks at police. Councilmember Bob Charlin shared his thoughts.
Our officers show unbelievable restraint, and to see them be treated that way is, inexcusable and something that, I can't tolerate.
Charlotte says the city will be asking the county and state police for assistance on the south side. It also says the city will announce later this week a new plan to limit weekend violence. The Allegheny County District Attorney's Office confirms that an establishment on East Carson Street is under review by the Nuisance Bar Task Force. Capo's Bar has been the scene of multiple incidents of violence in recent weeks. 2 weekends ago, a man was arrested accused of fighting with a woman. That was followed by a large, unruly crowd leaving Capo's and heading onto the streets. Pepper spray was used to help clear the crowd in that instance. North Huntington Township Police have confirmed that 53-year-old Brian Kiefer of Indian Head was killed after being hit by a large construction cleaning truck Tuesday morning. Another person was injured and treated and released from the hospital. The accident happened near Route 993 in Quality Way near Irwin. It was first considered to be a vehicle crash, but has now been determined to be a construction accident. Police are investigating after a smash and grab at a vape shop in Brookline. Pittsburgh police were alerted by a burglary alarm at Cloud 9 in the 900 block of Brookline Boulevard just before 2:30 Tuesday morning. Officers found the front entrance had been rammed several times by a vehicle. Video shows two men fully dressed in black getting out of an SUV and stealing money from the register, along with merchandise, before leaving the scene. The SUV used in the burglary was stolen in Dormont. Beginning today, air travelers nationwide no longer will have to remove their shoes during TSA security checks. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem with the announcement at a D.C. area airport, who was asked if every airport across the country is confident that something like a bomb won't be in someone's shoe.
We've gone back and evaluated this process and how we screen individuals and looked at the efficacy of it and making sure that everything that we do matters. And if it is something that is beneficial, that helps us in the screening process, we will continue to do it. So there will be individuals at times that will be asked to remove their shoes.
Not every report says that every airport will have this policy, but earlier this afternoon, Pittsburgh International Airport contacted us and said, you will no longer have to remove your shoes at Pittsburgh International as you go through the screening process. KDKA Sports, Pirates, and the Kansas City Royals scoreless as they head to the second inning out in Kansas City. KDKA Radio News time is 8:03. Your AccuWeather forecast is next. I'm Paul Alexander on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
Americans spend $66 billion on weight loss products and services each year. And you know what? Right here in our hometown, Pittsburgh's very own board-certified and licensed hypnotherapist Dan Vitchoff has helped thousands of people do just that. Lose weight, keep it off. In fact, he's been helping people take back control of their lives for more than 20 years here in Pittsburgh at the PA Hypnosis Center. You have an opportunity to do the same. Are you battling anxiety? So many people are. He can help you with that. If you want to quit smoking, Dan Vitchoff is the call you should make at the PA Hypnosis Center today. Schedule your free consultation at 724-934-8446, 724-934-8446. Dan can help you reach your goal with a 98% success guarantee. 724-934-8446. Call now.
The legacy continues with a special rock celebration live. A trip to their massive hits and fan favorites. 3 decades. Over 22 million albums sold. One night only. Friday, July 25th. The Event Center at Rivers Casino. Live. Tickets on sale now at riverscasino.com. Don't miss Live.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
It will stay partly cloudy through tonight, a low of 63. We'll have a mix of sun and clouds for tomorrow. There could be an afternoon thunderstorm in spots, high 85. And then partly cloudy and muggy tomorrow night, a low of 68. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Brian Thompson at 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Rob Frax on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, as I said earlier today on my social media platform, Unplugged, because I really like what Kim Ward has to say, and she's fastly becoming one of my best interviews. Why? Because she speaks her mind. So let's welcome her now to KDKA. State Senator Kim Ward, of course, on the Metropolitan Window video screen. You can watch it stream and hear it live by going to KDKRadio.com and clicking on KDK Watch. So I'm going to chuckle here a little bit. This is one of the reasons why you are just absolutely unbelievable at what you do. So I saw this story about regulating skill games and, well, how it's dividing Pennsylvania lawmakers as the budget drags on. And here's what you had to say, which is priceless. Senate President Pro Tem Kim Ward of Westmoreland County said in an interview that lawmakers have waited too long to put regulations on taxes of the tens of thousands of games that have popped up around the state. They are multiplying like rabbits, and some of their operators would never pass a background check. So I will let you elaborate. Well said. I've had a lot of things in my mind about these skilled games because I know a lot of people in the casino industry, and I know a lot of these social clubs use that money to do a lot of things, even buy police dogs for local police departments. So go right ahead. It's great to have you back on KDKA.
Thank you for having me. Okay, so because we have never taxed this activity, there are no regulations, there are no background checks. When you look at the casinos and when you look at gaming in Pennsylvania, we have high taxes, 52% on casinos, 52% on the VGTs that are sitting in the truck stops, with a lot of regulation, right? A lot of background checks plugged into the gaming board, knowing exactly who is running these things. Right now, the way this operation is a cash business. It's cash. It's unbelievable. And it's unbelievable that anyone would say that a business, look, the VFWs and those nonprofits are not going to pay taxes. They don't pay taxes. They're not paying taxes. We're going to tax the machine guys. We're going to tax the operators who have been just working in cash for 8-9 years, and they've known for this whole time that they were getting away with something. And now they're poo-pooing, they're wah-wah-wahing. They're out scaring veterans organizations and fire companies. And it's just, their message is not true. We are not taxing those clubs. We are not. We are going to tax that company that is run from a guy out of state. He lives in Georgia. There's only one state. This is important, I think. Nobody ever prints it when I say it, but there is only one state in the country that actually recognizes these machines and as legal. Some states have kicked them out, and then they just take them to court. So we need to regulate it, and this guy from Georgia needs to pay his taxes. I don't know. Don't you wish you didn't have to pay taxes? I wish I didn't have to pay taxes. And if I didn't have to pay taxes, I'd be rich too and have jets with my dog's head on the end of it like he does. I mean, it's just, what the heck, buddy? You got to pay your taxes. And they are funding all of this somehow through the background. They're funding all of this, scaring people, intimidating people. And I just think they're awful. You don't go intimidating. They went to one of our members' homes who lives in an HOA the day after the shooting in Minneapolis. And they went to her door, acting like they didn't know they were at her door. And so she talked to them through the
intercom.
The intercom.
Yeah.
And she said, well, I think that she does a pretty good job. And they go, we're here to make sure, we're going to make sure that she continues to do a good job. And they went to no other homes. That is just pure intimidation. That is wrong. That is who we are dealing with. That is who doesn't want to pay their taxes. And the biggest thing about this, the lottery testified as such in our appropriations meetings a couple months ago, is we lost $250 million. This is hurting seniors. For PACE and PACENet, this is hurting seniors. And, there's only so much disposable income, right? So you have $20. You're going to buy a ticket, you're going to put it in a machine. And they're putting it in machines. So I'm not saying they're all bad. We would like to regulate them. We'd like them to exist here in our Commonwealth, but they have to exist as all other businesses exist. We're not trying to tax them at that high, 52%. We're not even trying to. Although if they're gaming, it makes sense that maybe they should be taxed at that. Okay, that's all. Shut up.
That was great. That was priceless. I'm going to rewind that a couple of times later tonight just to listen to it. All right. Now, before we get to the big, beautiful bill, our budget, are we getting there? Is it almost gone, finalized, or is there still many more sunrises and sunsets before we get it signed, sealed, and delivered?
There are many more sunrises and sunsets. It is going. I'm not saying it's not going. It is going, but It's going slowly. There are big items, right? There are big expensive items on the table that we have to figure out how we're going to pay for without burdening taxpayers, without raiding the rainy day fund. We have to. And you can see it'll just probably be more coming down the road, which is bigger reason even to not spend every bit of money that we have in our pot. So we're going to figure this out. It's going to take time. So far it's not been, nobody's beating anybody up, but we're talking and trying to get through it, and we'll see.
All right. Now, let's talk about the president. We're with State Senator Kim Ward on KDKA tonight. This is from a physician friend of mine, and he wrote this text much better than I could probably describe what I was exactly looking for as far as your answer. So we'll go with his thought. He says, when you're talking to the senator, please make sure she expounds about that there is no cut to medical assistance. It is to the growth of it, and those that need it should get it, but those that shouldn't should not. So everybody's concerned about Medicaid. And I think he was very eloquent what he said. Longtime listener, good friend, Dr. Kevin Wong. So why don't you?
Exactly what it was.
He's the best. So if you can, explain what we're talking about when it comes to Medicaid.
So as Dr. Wong expressed, and this is exactly what Senator McCormick said to me last week, we're not cutting. People are not getting cut off of Medicaid that need Medicaid. We are slowing the growth of Medicaid by having able-bodied people check in twice a year and do something. Look for jobs, volunteer, go to school, get yourself into the workforce. So I don't think there are many people that I know that are against able-bodied people that are able to work going to work, especially for those so many out here that go to work every day, right? So they're looking at folks that don't have children between the ages of 18 and 64 that don't have a stated need to do something. And so slowing the growth will help. I hope it helps. Pennsylvania is very generous with Medicaid. I think we have the second most generous program in the entire country. So, we take care of people, and we want to take care of people. If you need help, we want to make sure you get that help. But if you don't need help, we want you to get your butt off the couch and go to work.
All right, a couple of other things. The Supreme Court today is getting it closer for him to lay off some federal workers. Look, when people were working, we had a middle class. Nobody ever talked about the government spending or overspending. What do you make of that news and also this tariff pause? I believe he just wants everybody to come back and renegotiate. And I think when the pawn and U.S. Steel deal being done that he helped facilitate, it's going to put us in a really good position. I think everyone, even the global economy, is going to be stronger once he gets some new tariffs out there as far as deals done. And more importantly, I think the guy really is trying to put America first again. That's my thoughts. What's yours?
Right. He keeps doing amazing things, right? The job numbers are not what anybody expects. He keeps getting things done that people don't expect him to get done. What other president has been called daddy? Come on. By another country's leader.
I don't know of anyone.
They call him Daddy.
He's the father of our country. He's the daddy. That's right.
I think he's doing amazing work. I agree with you. We should just, I think we talked about it last time. Give it a chance. He has brought people to the table. He has made tremendous strides in the tariffs. And, our government has been bloated for a long time. And, if you don't need to be on the taxpayer's payroll, which you are when you're a government employee, and that means me, I'm on the taxpayer's payroll, then, you probably have developed a great skill that the private sector could use.
Hey, this energy summit, which I'm going to talk about next week, Mr. McCormick, the honorable senator, that's a pretty cool story. Talk about that a little bit, then we'll let you go.
So he's bringing together CEOs, everybody in the region and outside, and the president to talk about energy. Pennsylvania has energy. We have so much gas here. We could be Texas. And he's bringing people together to talk about the future of energy. And we need to, when you look at our grid and the problem that we have with our grid, and it is a problem, and I don't, we keep saying it, and I'm sure folks just go, what are you talking about? Roll their eyes. But when your electricity goes out and you start to have blackouts and you have to start to only use your washing machine certain days of the week, then everybody will understand that our grid's in trouble. And we need to make sure that we are putting as much energy out into producing as much energy as we can, because not only will it make sure that our grid is strong, it's going to make sure our economy is strong and our workers are strong and their families have income. It's just, it never made sense to me to close down a natural resource like we have here in Pennsylvania.
Listen, I really enjoy your time on the radio with me, but I think you're out there working hard for Pennsylvania, and that's a good thing. So keep up the great work.
I'm honored to do it.
All right.
So honored.
There she goes, State Senator Kim Ward. Truly very busy politician. We'll come back. We have a lot to talk about. We're going to the phones next. It's your Pratt Pack on KDK. Thank you. Bye-bye, Senator.
When you need to talk, we're here for you. Always have been. News Radio KDKA.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or two half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
This is Ryan Schlabel with the Home Buyers of Pittsburgh, and I want to make your next home sale the easiest one yet. We've been saving people time, money, and stress for over a decade. You don't have to list with an agent, make any repairs, or have a long closing process. Just call 412-500-9057 for a good fit, come to the house, make you a cash offer on the spot. My team will handle the rest. Dealing with a complicated situation? No problem. Call 412-500-9057 or visit homebuyersoftpittsburgh.com for a cash offer today.
Think trifectas are rare? Not at PJ Fitzpatrick. You can get American-made windows that are beautiful, affordable, and energy efficient. PJ Fitzpatrick has a variety of financing packages that will work with any budget. Plus, they provide peace of mind with a lifetime guarantee on materials and labor for your new windows. You can have it all. Visit trustpj.com today for a free design consultation. That's trustpj.com. That's trustpj.com.
ABC Transit is urgently hiring for CDL and van drivers. Current sign-on bonus for Class B with S&P endorsements is $2,500. Van drivers get a $1,000 sign-on bonus. Complete their CDL program and earn up to $1,000 in additional bonuses. Safety and attendance bonuses available. You must be able to pass all background and clearance checks, must be drug-free. 9 locations in Allegheny, Beaver, and Butler counties. Apply in person. Call 724-831-8500.
With more than 15,000 cardiac procedures performed in the last 5 years, UPMC is a leader in the field of cardiac care.
We've been first to use advanced technologies for heart valve disease, for aortic disease, for coronary disease. The work that the heart team here at UPMC does is truly life-changing. We want to be the pioneers and continue to innovate in the world of heart disease.
Your heart care matters. Visit upmc.com/heart to learn more.
Join Rob Pratt every Sunday at 11 a.m. for Black and Gold Sunday, presented by Coons Market, your hometown Pittsburgh grocer. Rob keeps you posted on Pittsburgh sports with 2 hours of exciting talk. That's Black and Gold Sunday, 11 to 1, presented each week by Coons Market.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
The fighting spirit of the Marine Corps is born of battles won. Battles won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's a promise made to you for more than 2 centuries. A promise of the Marines.
Think back to the last time you were in nature. What comes to mind? Hiking through a lush forest, floating on a lazy river, or perhaps watching a vibrant sunset on a beach full of glistening plastic bottles and food wrappers. Unfortunately, this isn't a joke. Here in the US, we generate the most plastic waste in the world, with 70% of it ending up in landfills. And by the time you're done listening to this ad, more than a dump truck's worth of plastic will have made it into the ocean. Plastic has become a useful part of our everyday lives, but it's polluting the air, water, and soil that all life needs to survive. This is a human problem that can be solved with human action. But it's going to take all of us, from individuals to businesses to governments and everyone in between. Help create a cleaner future for both people and nature. Visit wwf.earth/plastics.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The 50,000-watt voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I really enjoy my time with State Senator Kim Ward and the partnership, relationship, this professional interview opportunity that I get from time to time, and I've heard her on other shows. It's because of Jay Costa, who I have on tomorrow night. This budget's been the big story. That's why we've gone with Devlin Robinson, Kim Ward, and tomorrow night another state senator. They're my big three. Jay Costa. And the thing that I really respect about her, can ask her anything. You know, you hook up with her people, you set up a time, and I did say we were going to talk about the budget, but then I saw the Skilled Games comment, and I go, I got to ask her about that. And then, you start talking about Dr. Wong, see something I did on social media. He throws me a note, which is a great question, and he really framed it up beautifully. I don't even think I would have gone in that direction if he wouldn't have sent that to me. So we all have ideas and thoughts and these churning subconscious little things that jump out and kind of become, as I like to call, springboards to variety, come from all of you. So when I ask you about your opinion, it really does matter to me. When I ask you what you think about someone, I want the truth. I want it to be respectful, good, bad, or indifferent. But the only way that we get back to any sort of a semblance in this country is by talking about issues. And this perception, and look, I said it when we began the show tonight, I'm going to vote for Josh Shapiro if he's the Democratic nominee for president. I'm going to vote for him. I'll vote for him probably as governor, too, unless the Republicans can come up with somebody who's going to dazzle me. But I don't think that's going to happen. Let me just say this. I'm a homer. I'm a Pennsylvanian. I'm from Pittsburgh. When I go anywhere in the country and somebody says, well, where are you from? I don't tell them I'm from Beaver County in Monaca, which I love it. It's a great little town. But I say I'm from Pittsburgh. And I can tell you, if Josh Shapiro ends up the president of the United States, it's going to be great for us. It's going to be great for us in Pennsylvania. And look, he gets the meds and eds, and obviously his background as a lawyer, an attorney, all that general stuff that he did. He's going to be able to help fight crime, which has become an epidemic in Pennsylvania. Every time you pick up the paper, every time you tune in to KDK Radio or the evening news locally, KDKA TV, there's a criminal activity of some sort. We had that robbery in Brookline we were talking about earlier tonight. This nonsense has to stop. Got to stop. And one thing about Josh Shapiro, this guy is another man of action, but I like his energy. And not that I just follow him. I follow everybody who could be connected to a story that my audience is going to want to talk about. And I know he's got the governor's race staring him in the face, but I don't think I've seen anybody ever as governor who is so out there amongst the people. I mean, this guy on 4th of July must have been at 10 parades. I'm looking at this because one of the things I've done my whole life is work holidays, okay? Or been doing something work-related on holidays. And that guy was out and about. And I know one thing, he will never forget where he came from. And this whole thing about, well, he's, leaning more towards Philadelphia. I love Philadelphia. And by the way, I got to get to that whole situation where they're trash down there. That is absolutely terrible what's happening. And this is something that we should all be looking at. The country should be looking at. Unless we get our act together and start adding some money to all of our coffers, there's going to be trash on all of our streets. I don't think, I was thinking about this just the other day. Waste Management comes by my house, right? Once a week. And they're there. Same time, Monday morning between 6:30 and 7:30. That's worth every cent. Every single cent. You can actually put your trash out and somebody comes and removes it. You got to love it. That's why every Christmas they get a nice little bump from your Pratt bag. Even if it's a case of beer, I take care of them because they take care of me. And I feel for those people in the city of Philadelphia. But you got to take care of workers. And unless you start finding the resources to take care of these people, you're going to start having issues like this. Josh Shapiro, I promise you, he's right now talking in negotiations, trying to get that thing settled. And I don't care if he is leaning more towards Philadelphia because where he grew up and where he's from Pennsylvania. And if he ends up on Pennsylvania Avenue, that's going to benefit us all. Man, we've got so much to talk about. I'd love to hear from you. We can talk more about this whole big, beautiful bill and this tariff pause and how, once again, Wall Street doing that Kennywood roller coaster thing. It's going to be okay. And I think if the rest of the world would actually listen to what this guy has to say, China's going to be better off in the long run. Absolutely. And the other thing we've got to get to, so much tonight. The president is now going to be sending weapons to Ukraine. Why? Because what have we been talking about? Russia's been getting the upper hand. And the last thing that we need is Russia to win in Ukraine because he will not stop there. So whatever's on your mind, if some of those things catch your fancy, give me a call. 866-391-1020.
Hello, this is Sarah Botkin, president of Botkin Family Wealth Management, where I work with my dad Les and my brother Lester. If you've heard Dad talking about his previous career as a PGA golf pro, you know I grew up in a golf family. My very first job at age 15 was a caddy. Yep, I was the only girl caddy at Nevillewood. I made $30 a round, and I got to watch a lot of golfers, their swing, their attitudes, and their reactions. The best players were those who remained focused no matter what happened. They never got too excited by a great hole or too rattled by a bad shot or an unlucky break. Investing holds the same principles. A market downturn can be upsetting, but staying calm is the key to success. At Botkin Family Wealth Management, we help you keep emotions out of your investment decisions so that you can stay focused on what you want to accomplish. Dad and I are certified financial planners, and Lester is a chartered financial analyst. We work as a team, your team. Learn more at botkinfamilywealth.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-536-96 9607. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-536-9607 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-536-9607 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-536-9607.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking. Early bird special, $49.99. Seminars Wednesday, July 23rd, Hilton Garden Inn, Pittsburgh, Cranberry and Cranberry Township, or Thursday, July 24th, Holiday Inn Express and Suites, Pittsburgh, West and Green Tree. Weight loss at 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar at 8 p.m.
For generations, you've listened to us in your kitchen, catching baseball games on your front porch, and ending your day as your bedtime buddy. Now, you can watch us every day on your TV with our new KDKA Radio YouTube page or by clicking on KDKARadio.com. It's presented by Metropolitan Windows. Same great content, more live visuals. The voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020.
CBS News Brief. In and near Ruidoso, New Mexico, is a flash flooding emergency with multiple rescues underway. Search and rescue crews are also still working in central Texas, where at least 110 people have died, and Governor Greg Abbott says even more are still missing.
We will not stop until every missing person is accounted for. Know this also. There very likely could be more added to that list.
Los Angeles is filing a lawsuit in an attempt to stop federal immigration raids. L.A. City Attorney Heidi Feldstein-Soto.
These federal operations have already damaged the trust between law enforcement and our communities, our residents.
The Supreme Court has cleared the way for President Trump to move forward with mass layoffs of federal workers. CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson.
How quickly could this happen? I would say that we're potentially talking about days or weeks to see some significant changes in the executive branch.
CBS News Brief, I'm Jennifer Kuiper.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248 today.
Hey everybody, it's Lynn Hayes Freeland. You know, 90th anniversaries are super special. That's why AARP Pennsylvania is celebrating 90 years for Social Security. And they're doing it with ice cream. Now, there are 3 events in the greater Pittsburgh area where you can join in the fun. But registration is required to get your favorite scoop of your favorite ice cream. And you'll learn more about AARP and the fight to strengthen and protect Social Security. You can register at aarp.org/local.
Hello, KDKA listeners. This is Carlos, owner of Greater Pitt Tree Service. If you have any concerns about any trees on your property, call Greater Pitt Tree Service, 412-884-TREE. We have an A+ rating on the Better Business Bureau. To serve your needs best, we have an ISA certified arborist on staff. We have 32 years experience, 412-884-TREE. We will be your best choice for tree work. Greater Pitt Tree Service, 412-884-TREE. And remember, we did your neighbor's tree.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. Protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
The sky will turn out partly cloudy tonight. We'll get down to 63 for an overnight low. It's going to be a humid day tomorrow with times of clouds and sunshine. There could be an afternoon thunderstorm, high 85. Still humid Thursday with some sun and a thunderstorm, high 80. For AccuWeather, I'm Brian Thompson, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Okay, let's welcome Joanne into the mix. Now, Joanne, I hope you heard me say that if our governor is the Democratic nominee in 2028, he's got my vote. You heard that, right?
Yeah, he got mine too, so.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Well, I want to talk about this freshman senator from this area, Mr. McCormick. You know, he when he ran, he talked about term limits. And he said he was only going to be one term. And yet he knew if he didn't vote for that bill, that horrendous bill, that his name would have been mud. So then he's justifying why he voted for that bill. Mr. McCormick, you told your tales when you were running, and you rode on the back of this president. So we're going to be watching you. I don't care what you say. And then you had to say, and then you called the president. If you hadn't have voted for that bill, there's no way he would have gave you the time of day. So let's stop with this nonsense. Go do your job that that people voted for you to do. I didn't vote for you. That people voted for you to do, and we're going to see and keep an eye on you for your term limits. One term is all you need, and out you go. Just pass what you know, and what needs to be done to the next senator that comes in there. One term that she's talked about. We're gonna keep an eye on you. So anyway, that's all I have to say, except God bless America.
All right, I got off easy tonight, huh? Notice how I made sure that she realized I'm a Democrat like she is. Look, the bottom line is this. You're going to have people always, shaking things up a little bit. But you have to love the fact that I had a state senator from Pennsylvania on tonight, a state senator last night, and a state senator tomorrow night, all from Pennsylvania, talking about the budget, giving you a chance to hear about money, where it's going, where it should not be going, why we need to start taxing this and not taxing that. It's a good thing. That's what makes our democracy great. It's about communicating, about talking about issues. That's what we need to do. And what just blows me away is everybody wants to dive in on the negative. But do you understand, if the president doesn't take some of these steps, and if people like the three senators that I mentioned aren't working with our governor to make sure money is going where it needs to go, we're going to be dealing with even worse issues when it comes to Medicaid and health care and education. I mean, it's just not the roads and bridges that are crumbling. It's everything. That's why this exclusionary thing, I led with it tonight. Look, I understand everybody's trying to make it easy on people. And rightfully so. People that are out actually working, something that the Senator Kim Moore just said, people that are actually getting up and going to work every day, they need to be able to have a quality life. But if you start adding jobs and bringing manufacturing, that's why, Mr. McCormick, this Energy Summit, the timing is beautiful. It's beautiful to have that. Because when are we going to get a kick in the pants that it's time for us to start drilling for this natural gas, bringing more of these petrochemical plants? Look, I would have invited, if I'm him, and I don't have the guest list, but I'm sure he's got movers and shakers that are connected in one form or another, I'd have members from ExxonMobil, British Petroleum, Citgo. I'd have some of the biggest players in the petroleum industry here now. It's when Tom Corbett, the then governor, took the folks from Royal Dutch Shell to that Steelers football field, got them fired up about what we're all about, and then they roll right down to the banks of the mighty Ohio in the community I call home. And look, I may not be able to go out and get a drink after 8 o'clock at night, but that Shell cracker plant in Monaca, it's working round the clock. Round the clock. The lights are always on. There's always somebody there. There's always some sort of something exchanging hands. And that means cash flow. That means jobs. Somebody morning, noon, and night going home with a paycheck and being able to take care of their family and afford a house. The more paychecks you put on the street that come from entities like the steel industry and the natural gas industry and the energy industry, whether it be nuclear, wind, solar, whatever, you're going to have a stable community. You're going to have people having something in common because they're making the same amount of money. They have the same benefits. They have the same hopes, the same dreams. And you are steady as she goes. We've got a beautiful streetscape underway in Monaco. When it's done, it's going to be immaculate. That's because there's some forward-thinking people in that community, including an incredible mayor like his father before him. They get it. Members of city council, many of them I know, they get it. It's about getting stuff done, making the money you have work for you. You know, we got a new firehouse being built in Monaco on Pacific Avenue. Absolutely beautiful. I drive by it every day. Every time a brick goes into that foundation, it's prosperity. It's showing me that people care about the future. We don't have enough people caring about the future now. We don't. They want to live in the moment. They just expect it's going to get better. That's why nobody wants to talk about the good that Donald Trump's doing. But you heard what I said. If it would have been Josh Shapiro on the Kamala Harris ticket, do you know how many people in Pennsylvania, a swing state, would have probably went in that direction? That was a critical decision. Now, whether it was him or her, it doesn't matter. But she should have done a massive sales job. Joe Biden with roots in Scranton. My goodness, he should have been saying, Josh, we need you. And I must tell you, there's something else, too. You know, John Fitzgerald Kennedy was the first Catholic president. Being a Catholic, that's a good thing. And Josh Shapiro would be the first Jewish president. And you know how I feel about the Jewish community. That's a good thing. But I just like him. He's dynamic. I've heard him on the radio so many times on the Big K Morning Show, and he just makes you perk up. You want to be a part of it. Listen, Donald Trump, here's the word of the night. He's an anomaly, okay? I don't know anybody 79 who moves like that, right? I don't know any 79-year-old that moves like that. I mean, this guy, my dad was 73 when he passed 25 years ago. My dad didn't have anywhere near the energy that this guy had. I'm 68. I'm in pretty good shape, but I don't know if I have the same type of energy, and I've been called the godfather of this business, meaning like James Brown, the hardest working person in showbiz. I mean, nonstop, morning, noon, and night, always grinding, no days off. But this guy's the same way, no days off, because he cares about America. And everybody talks about, catering to his billionaire friends. No. This guy stood in front of a crowd a year ago and got shot, lived to tell about it, rose to his feet shouting, fight, 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 went back to work, never took any time off, went to the convention, and has continued to work. Look, if I had that kind of jingle in my pocket, as my family members used to say, you got any jingle in your pocket? I'd be on a beach in Maui right now, just hanging out, waiting for the sun to set. This guy wants to work. I've never seen him in anything but that Brooks Brothers suit, white shirt, red tie. Even when he is in his golf clothes, he's got pants on that all he needs to do is throw a blazer on and he can step up to a podium and go right to work. And the other thing, in this land of secrecy and need to know and why can't I get the facts, what the truth is, have you ever seen this guy turn an interview down? Ever. Never, ever, ever. And do you know there's not one company or corporation in America or anywhere in the world that he could not roll in 2 hours before they open their doors, get the books, have somebody sit with him, and he could right away pretty much take over that company. You can't say that about many people in public office, especially presidents. They're great orators, got that Ivy League degree. Many are lawyers. They've done this, they've done that. But nobody has done as much as this guy has in his life. The reason he's so well-rounded and the reason why the American workforce listens to him and why those USW members were on that stage with him in West Mifflin saying, thank you, Mr. President, you Republican president, thank you, is because they know that he was fighting for working-class people like me. And can I tell you something? That deal with Nippon and U.S. Steel is going to be looked back on and written in history 50 years from now, some classroom and hopefully a healthier public education across America. they'll be talking about that deal is when the lights went back on in America. And maybe in their lifetime, they won't have to hear of a government every few months passing legislation to get cash. Do you know how many home equity loans we've taken out on America? The only reason nobody's foreclosed is because we can print money. But don't you get to a point where your pride's involved? Anyway, give me some thoughts. 866-391-1020. It just seems to me everybody is on the same page, or at least trying to get on that page. And to me, that's a good thing. 866-391-1020. It's your Pratt Pack.
It's the little things. The information you need. People you know. The little things that make a big difference. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Out here in the middle of these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on Earth. That's how it feels when you're struggling with your mental health. But you don't have to feel alone. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-408-4040. That's 800-408-4040. 800-408-4040.
This is Stephen Barry Ehrenrich from Petite. Traditions are passed down from generation to generation. And at Petite Kitchen and Bath Design Center, we have a tradition of making customers' dreams come true.
Over the years, 3 generations of our family have worked with countless customers. We've listened to their ideas and then developed designs for their kitchens and baths.
And speaking of traditions, we've also had the unique privilege of creating generations of satisfied customers the Petite way.
They've seen that upgrading a kitchen or bath adds value to a home and makes it more desirable. And we can do the same for your home with the best designers and installers in the business.
Come visit our newly remodeled showroom. The response has been overwhelming.
Petite Kitchen and Bath is on Route 50, just off the Carnegie exit, or call 412-279-2222. That's 412-279-2222.
Haven't you waited long enough? PA 625.
Have you been told there is nothing that can be done for your neuropathy? Tri-State Neuropathy Centers is pleased to tell you that's not true. As one of the largest and most successful neuropathy treatment practices in the country, Tri-State Neuropathy Centers has grown to 9 regional centers and helped over 14,000 patients, like Bill from Mars. Bill's neuropathy got so bad he couldn't sleep due to the pain and was losing his balance, causing him to have frequent falls. Then Bill found Tri-State Neuropathy Centers. Their effective FDA-approved treatment program greatly improved Bill's neuropathy, and now he's sleeping through the night, can feel his feet again, and has no more pain. Listen to Bill's complete story at marydanston.com. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers help Bill along with thousands of others. Let them help you next. Call 724-940-9000. That's 724-940-9000. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers, the leader in treating peripheral neuropathy.
Tune in to 1020 KDKA Radio for Medical Frontiers with Dr. Gerald Pfeiffer from the Allegheny Health Network every Monday from 7 to 8 p.m. Dr. Pfeiffer and his special guests will cover the information that you want to know about your health and the latest trends in medicine.
Pittsburgh's 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, do you know someone in your community who has done something extraordinary in the past year? Nominate them now at kdkradio.com to be honored at this year's Larry's Hometown Heroes event. Always a big hit and always a great time to be had by one and all. All right, let's go to the phones. Let's have a little bit of fun till 10 o'clock. Lots of stuff to discuss. I think I gave you enough to get started. And let's say hi to Bob in West Mifflin. You're on KDKA. Hey, good evening, Bob.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good, sir. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, well, I think that people are not understanding the president. You know, I've been a lifelong Democrat, and I voted for him. I'm proud to say that. He started out just getting people to think and get rid of waste. There was so much waste, I believe, in the federal government. And we have to, as a state and as a county and as other groups and communities, need to think about how they can do it, how they can bring things together. But this fear-mongering that you're going to lose your Social Security, you're this, and you're going to lose this, you're going to lose all that, it's a shame because it's not true, in my belief.
Well,
I think he's doing the right things.
Well, listen, you got to do something. You just can't keep passing legislation that digs a deeper hole. You got to start looking at the big picture. It's like any CEO, chairman of the board, anybody, when they go in to take over a company, in this case, it's the country that he's going to run, you got to look at the books. And all he saw was a whole lot of fat and a whole lot of money going out. I mean, think about it. Not only do we have a $37 trillion debt in America, we have $1 trillion worth of credit card debt in America. I mean, try to wrap your hands around that. $1 trillion of credit card debt.
This Nippon steel deal, U.S. steel deal, is something unlike you've ever seen in the Mon Valley, is trying to recover. Out of 13 districts in Allegheny County, we come in last in many various areas. Teenage pregnancy, infant mortality. If you're a black person, your life expectancy of 6 years less. There's just so much issues down here and so many problems. And I think he's a bit of the answer to us anyways. And sometimes we have to be a little parochial and think about us.
Well, I mean, listen, if we don't think about us, you think China's going to think about us?
I don't think so. And these import taxes and things like that, you notice how it fluctuates, and he's working it out. He's a businessman. He knows what he's doing. And you hear people over and over again say, we should run this country like a business.
All right, well, let me give you another thought process. My dear friend Joe Dentisi said to me one time, it's the Auto Milk principle. And I asked him, I said, what does that mean? He goes, well, there was a company called Auto Milk in Pittsburgh. And what happened was when the AMPs started to blow up and explode and become this brand across the country, they got rid of all of their other customers and put all their eggs in one basket. So what eventually happened? AMP went out of business, Auto Milk went out of business. In other words, what's going to happen if America goes bankrupt? You think that's going to help China and some of the other people like France, Germany, and Italy? This is actually going to be better for them because it's going to make us fiscally stronger, so we're going to be around longer to do business with them. But if they push us into bankruptcy, then they're done too. We're their biggest employer. I mean, we really spend more money and have more people working directly or non-directly for China than probably the people in China, other than the obvious 2 billion people they have. We're important to China. China needs us whether they believe it or not.
Well, let's make America great again.
Well, let's see what happens. I know one thing. This guy is not asleep at the switch. He's grinding every single day. Look, anybody will tell you, you've got to diversify. Warren Buffett's talked about it forever. And I got to tell you, Charlie Munger dies. That was a sad day because I got so much sage advice watching these videos of these guys. I'm going to be sad when he's not around anymore. This guy has been so influential to so many people. And that's why when Elon Musk talks, you got to listen. Because the guy made the system work. He made it work. People like Bill Gates, the late Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak. They're the Henry Fords, the George Westinghouses, the Andrew Carnegies of this generation. And they are causing so many young people to do incredible things. Warren Buffett, look, I can tell you right now, if I would talk to somebody in their 30s who's a broker, right, a fiduciary, I guarantee you they would much rather talk about him than anything happening in any field of athletics. Because the guy's a winner. He knows what it takes. Why do you think he's had so much success with places like Burger King and Dairy Queen and a bottle of Heinz ketchup? It's what people need. And what do people need more than anything? They need a good paycheck. Look, I don't care who you are. You're Margot, my daughter's age, my producer. You're me, my age, anybody. Everybody wants the same thing out of life. They want an opportunity to have a paycheck. They want an opportunity to be able to have a place to live. And they want to have a little extra money to take their friends and family and loved ones out and go to the movies or go buy some groceries every couple of days. That's all people want. They want to take that food back to their house. Hopefully at Coons Market they go and they come home, cook up something to eat, talk about the business of the day. It's so true. It gives you something to look forward to. So Joe used to tell me all the time, planning out meals. It gives you something to look forward to at the end of the day. Go home, that warm meal, that comfort food. But if you've got money in your bank account, you're comfortable. You're feeling good about life. Nobody talks about the mental anguish that people are going through in this country right now, because right now, as I speak to you, 4 minutes before 9 o'clock in the evening, there's a family having to send their children to bed hungry. There's a family wondering if their lights are going to be able to stay on. There's a family wondering if they're going to have enough to pay their rent or their mortgage or get their car fixed. I mean, do you understand? This is America. This should not be happening in our lifetime. So many people sacrificed, even lost their life fighting for our freedom, so we could have what we have today. And then many of these people came back from war, worked 10 times as hard to make it work for this generation. And the women who stayed at home back then worked harder than everybody. And here we are all these years later with all the technology and all the incredible things that we have, and we're trillions in debt. How does that happen? I mean, think about it. And you finally have a president who says, look, here's what I'm going to do if elected again. It's not going to be pretty, but this is what I'm going to do. Bing, bang, bong. And he does exactly that. And people are like, well, I can't believe he did that. Well, what do you think he told you he was going to do? But the best part, before we go to break, this is the thing that I want you to think about and come back and talk to me in the next hour. If there's so many people that don't like this guy, when he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do, then why did he get elected? Why did he get elected? And to be honest with you, if it is Josh Shapiro in 2028, he may not say it now, and I'm not putting words in his mouth, but his first term as president might be a whole lot less stressful because of what Donald Trump is doing. You see, what Donald Trump is doing, our president, it's not for Republicans. It's not for Democrats. It's for the American people. So you got to get beyond your feelings about him and understand he's running a corporation that simply goes by the United States of America. We'll take some calls on the other side. 866-391-1020. It's your Pratt Pack.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richert.
Joining us from New York, CBS's State Rosenbaum. And a lot of people assuming Combs would get convicted of something more serious.
Did not find that he was guilty of RICO charges, but did find that he was guilty of the Mann Act, which is anytime you're funding prostitution across state lines.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Pittsburgh Speaker Series presented by University of Pittsburgh announces its 25-26 season at Heinz Hall. 7 events will broaden your perspective and deepen your understanding of the world around you. Featuring Dr. Anthony Fauci, Malcolm Gladwell, historian Doris Kearns Goodwin, former National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster, and National Geographic photographer Christina Mittermeier. The series is sponsored by News Radio KDKA and the Spanos Group of Raymond James. Tickets on sale now at pittsburghspeakers.org.
If you're thinking about retiring soon, be sure to tune into the Net Worth Financial Hour with Beth Andrews of Net Worth Advisors, Saturdays at 1. Beth talks about the latest trends and headlines that could impact your retirement. Don't go into retirement unprepared. Listen every Saturday afternoon at 1 to the Net Worth Financial Hour with Beth Andrews of Net Worth Advisors. Firm offers insurance services. Net Worth Advisors, LLC, is a registered investment advisor.
Tune in this Sunday morning at 8 for the Coons Cooking Hour with Rob Pratt and the Coons Market team as they discuss budget-friendly meals. It's the Coons Cooking Hour, presented by Coons Market, your hometown Pittsburgh grocer.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. In New Mexico, flash flooding today where the National Weather Service says a father and 2 children in Lincoln were washed away, and there have been rescues at a trailer park in Ruidoso. In Texas, Governor Greg Abbott says after getting a first-hand look at the devastation along the Guadalupe River.
Know this, we will not stop until every missing person is accounted for.
Abbott says that is at least 161 people in Kerr County alone. 110 people have died. CBS's Jason Allen also reports.
About a decade ago, the Kerr County Commission debated a new flood warning system to replace the informal phone tree system they already had, known as river calling. Meeting records from 2016 show some officials pushed back against the idea of sirens. Commissioner Buster Baldwin, who is now deceased, said at the time, the thought of our beautiful Kerr County having these damn sirens going off in the middle of the night, I'm going to have to start drinking again to put up with y'all. 2 months later, he voted against the proposal.
The city of Los Angeles says it's exercising its own sovereignty by filing a lawsuit that aims to stop the Trump administration from carrying out ICE raids. LA City Attorney Heidi Feldstein Soto.
These unconstitutional roundups and raids cannot be allowed to continue. They cannot become the new normal. This cannot become routine to send militarized troops into our streets.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been in Washington this week as President Trump says he wants Israel and Hamas to agree to a ceasefire. CBS's Ed O'Keefe.
It's rare for any world leader to get 2 consecutive days of meetings at the White House, but Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was back for day 2 with President Trump. Netanyahu is in town for 3 days of meetings, building American support for a ceasefire plan in Gaza and Israel's war with Iran. We're told Netanyahu met one-on-one with the president in the Oval Office.
Sanitation workers are among the city employees in Philadelphia who've been on strike for over a week. The trash is overflowing at resident drop-off locations. This man says enough.
The mayor, whoever's responsible for this, pay these people. I mean, pay them what they need and let them do their job.
A Minnesota politician who was shot during an attack last month is out of the hospital. CBS's Matt Piper.
Minnesota State Senator John Hoffman is out of the hospital and into a rehab facility. He was shot multiple times, police say, by Vance Belter, who they say was impersonating a police officer when he showed up at Hoffman's home, shooting him and his wife. The family released a photo showing a smiling Hoffman giving a thumbs up while standing with a suitcase on rollers, ready to leave the hospital. His wife was released days after the attack. Prosecutors say Belter also killed former Minnesota House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband.
This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius. Or 2 half geniuses and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy?
You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
There's mixed news for a popular chicken chain. CBS's Deborah Rodriguez explains.
I want some Chick-fil-A today. It may top Yelp's new chicken sandwich ranking, but World Atlas has put Chick-fil-A at the top of its list of 10 least healthy food chains in the country. The Atlas cites meals that can eclipse the daily calorie limits, about 800, in a single sitting. Yelp celebrates the fried chicken chain for its crispy, crunchy sandwich. Dave's Hot Chicken comes in second, Raising Cane is third, then Shake Shack and Popeyes. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Pearl Jam drummer Matt Cameron says he's leaving the band after nearly 30 years. The 62-year-old announced his departure on social media, saying he has taken his final steps down the drum riser for the mighty Pearl Jam and thanked the band members for giving him the opportunity of a lifetime. The band calls Cameron a singular and true powerhouse of a musician. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
It will stay partly cloudy through tonight, a low of 63. We'll have a mix of sun and clouds for tomorrow. There could be an afternoon thunderstorm in spots, high 85. And then partly cloudy and muggy tomorrow night, a low of 68. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Brian Thompson at 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, thanks to Margot Rensel. She is done for the night, and Alonzo is here, getting ready to help you and I spend this hour together. Then he'll be here throughout the night. Don't forget, first thing tomorrow, the Big K Morning Show. But I have to tell you, I really enjoyed what we did on this program tonight with State Senator Kim Ward. And we got to cover so much in so little time. But we not only sprinkled in a lot as far as the Commonwealth is concerned, but we also talked about the president. Because I don't want people to lose any sleep at night. You know, I can't tell you how many years of my life losing sleep over everything. Worrying about my family, worrying about my children, worrying about my aging parents, worrying about my sisters, their children, my job, enough money, got to get the house paid, listen, I was perpetual motion, worry. I don't want any of you to lose any sleep. And when you look at really the world as we know it, this is what's so ironic. Watch me go full circle on you. Everybody is worried about what the president is doing, right? Especially because of that word Medicaid. They're scared. I get it. But why is nobody worried or has not said a word since the 90s to where we are now? Bill Clinton to Donald Trump, balanced budget, 30-some trillion in debt. Who is counting at this point? I mean, trillion. You know, even if we would hit the lottery and do something that is so amazing, colonize Mars, sell property on Mars to the highest bidder, whatever, we're never going to get out of this situation. But we're in that range where here's how it goes. So somebody would say, you buy a house, you're in your 60s, and you get a 30-year mortgage. Why would they give you that? Because the house is worth something, right? And you're obviously not going to be around as long as a 25-year-old was or a 40-year-old. But there are also policies that you can get houses paid off. Obviously, estates are settled. So that's where we're at right now. We're like that person over the age of 65 basically floating a mortgage. But you got to have money coming in or something as far as in the safety deposit box to make it work, right? You do. But if we don't stop now overspending, there will be no more. There will be no more ways to figure a way to dig out of it. So what the president is trying to do, he's trying to make us, and Kim Ward was talking about it just an hour ago, he's trying to make people get a grip on what's going on in this country. We are truly sinking into an abyss that if we don't do something now, all of those great things that the government gives us, and I love them all, fine wine and good spirits. Who doesn't like a good drink once in a while? The lottery. There's nothing like the anticipation, the little scratch off. You're standing in a sheet store. This could be my lucky day. All right? But the things that really matter, Medicaid, Medicare, great gifts from the government. And I see it now more than ever. Listen, started collecting Social Security not that long ago because my financial advisor said, hey, why are you going to wait till 70 for a few more $100? You're 68 years old. You're going to have to live to be 96 to pay it back. Well, I didn't realize how long I've been paying into Social Security. So when I signed up, 1976, I was a busboy cleaning salad dishes off of a table, and I was putting money into that savings account. I see that check every month, and I say, thank you, Jesus. I'm so blessed to live in America. And the thought of Medicare, haven't done it yet, but I will. And I can't tell you, when you get older, you're around sickness a lot more, sadly. You're either going to a hospital or you're going to a funeral. That's just the way it is. I talk about these stages in life, right? You're going to graduation parties, all right? Then you're going to like bat mitzvahs, bar mitzvahs, baptisms, and then you're kind of getting to that funeral stage where every day you're afraid to look at the obits because somebody you knew has passed away. Look, I've gone to 5 funerals in 2 weeks. 5. And these people were older than me, but still, 5. And there's not a day that I don't look in the obituaries that I see someone who's passed. What I'm trying to get at is this. We have the greatest government in the world, even though we're trillions in debt. When I'm at these places with friends getting treatment, you know what I hear more times than not? Oh, you're on Medicare. You're good. You're good. You're on Medicare. You're good. See, I still think and act like I'm 25, but I know chronologically where I'm at. So any text or any call from my kids makes me smile. My son sent me a little text last night at 10 o'clock. It made my entire day. And it has always made my day, no matter what anyone thinks. And that means you, when it comes to my children. They all are what I talk about to me. They're the sun setting, the moon being out on a beautiful summer night, the stars twinkling at night. It's that fresh breath of air that you get on a spring day. My kids are everything to me. And I'm telling you right now, unless we figure out what's going on in America right now, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security is going to be gone. And what people don't understand, thank goodness for Social Security. Thank goodness for Medicare. Because all of the pensions that the greatest generation had working in the steel industry, that those great USW workers are still getting because of Nippon and U.S. Steel and great leadership, everybody had it at one time. Everybody had it. But now Social Security, that was supposed to be like supplemental income, is now what people are going to be living on. And still, as we speak right now, there is somebody listening, that's their total source of income, that few grand a month. And believe me, when you add up utilities, rent, mortgage, just daily expenses, food, and food, you can really find ways to save by cooking at home. And it's not as expensive as, look, when I look across the board, you still give me a $20 bill. I go into Coons Market, I'm eating for 5 days. I'll make it work. But if we were in a country growing jobs and doing things that we simply just shoved under the rug, like all of the steel jobs that went away, and it took me literally months to make people understand why this deal had to get done, and we were never going to get a deal like this again. And why that brand, that icon, U.S. Steel, is so essential, not just for dollars and cents, but our mental clarity, who we are. There's so many moving parts here, but what I want you to understand, if this guy doesn't do what he's doing right now, forget about it. Our children, I have young children, grandchildren. I mean, they've only been on the earth a handful of years. It'll all be gone. So look at the gifts that the government has given us and say, look, I want this gift to be the gift that keeps on giving. The only way that's going to happen is if I get off my high horse and quit complaining and start praising at least somebody. Look, you realize this guy lives on a place called Palm Beach, okay? Mar-a-Lago. I've been there. He ain't worried about his next meal. He's not worried who's going to pay his electric bill. All right? He's basically telling you, look, this country has given me a lot. At 79, when I have, a handful of years, God willing, left to be with my young children and my young son, Barron, I'd rather do this for my son's future and your son and daughter's future. I really want to help you. Look, he seems genuine to me. I mean, sure, does he, put on the charm or, light a fire under somebody if he wants to make a point? Sure, but we all do that in life, right? We do it with our kids, our spouses, our friends, our family. You have to sometimes. But I'm telling you right now, and I'll explain as we come back. We're going to take some calls on the other side, but I just had to get this off my chest. Don't you understand? We got to keep cash flow coming into America. We're never going to pay this debt. We're never going to have a balanced budget. And you know what? I finally have come to that realization. Because I kept thinking, smoke and mirrors. I kept thinking the natural gas industry would be the answer, but it's not happening fast enough. But as long as we have cash flow, we can keep the lights on. And they'll be on for the next generation and the next generation. And guess what? We still have our country. We still have our flag. We still have our history. We're still the most powerful free nation in the world, but we've got to be thinkers in America to keep this country united, but also to keep this country stable and moving forward. 866-391-1020. You and I on the phone lines next. It's your Pratt Pack on a Tuesday night at KDKA.
Now more than ever, we're the station you can trust for the information you need. KDKA.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or two half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
I'm Ultima Morgan. Every year, almost 30,000 babies in America are born with birth injuries. It's every parent's worst nightmare. If your child suffered a birth injury, please call our firm to find out if we can help.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-587-1248. That's 800-587-1248 today.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Hear about it, then talk about it. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, here we go. Time to go to work. Here's Andy in Butler. Andy, go ahead, please.
Hey, good evening, Rob. How you doing?
Doing really good.
That's good to hear. Look, I know we're not going to agree. I'm not necessarily saying you and me, but me and a lot of the people listening. We're not going to agree, but my feeling is this. The best qualified person for the job got elected. Okay? person, Donald Trump, got elected, and he's the best qualified person for the job out of the choices that we had. All right? We know President Biden was cognitively impaired. Some of us know it before others, but it became obvious. He wasn't capable of being president. And his vice president, Kamala Harris, wasn't capable either of being president. I just read a thing, it was today. She did an interview with a podcaster, all right? The interview never got aired. Both sides agreed we can't air this interview. The podcaster was a Muslim American. One of the comments she made during that podcast was, bacon is a spice. Now, Muslims don't eat pork. She's talking to a Muslim American podcaster. She throws that out as a line. He said she found most of what she said to be incomprehensible and some of what she said to be insulting. And they both agreed because he's a Democrat and he wanted her, the whole reason for doing the podcast was he wanted to give her, that access. But both his team, him and her team agreed that interview can't be aired. A person who has that level of just not awareness to say that to that audience, that's not the person we wanted for president. And she didn't get elected. The best person for the job got elected. Look at what he's doing. The Nippon Steel deal is a great thing. USAID, whether you think we should be sending aid around the world or not, we're so far in debt we can't afford to do it anymore. All right? We went for decades in this country, Rob, saying everybody should be able to have everything, no matter what the cost. The world doesn't work that way. And we're trillions in debt and growing because of it. You made a really good statement earlier. You said, how many home equity loans can we take out against America? All right? And you can say, well, Trump did the same thing. All right? You can take out a home equity loan to do a couple of different things. You can take out a home equity loan to improve your home and increase its value, all right, providing you have the ability to pay it back, and you're at a net win. Or you can take out a home equity loan because you want to go on vacation and blow the money and do nothing to increase your net value. You're just using it as a source of debt. I think what President Trump's trying to do, all right, and it's going to be slow and a painful process, is improve that home so that it's worth more. All right? Put Americans to work. Bring industry here. Okay? Is that going to solve our national debt problem? Well, not by itself, no. And it's not going to solve it in 4 years, but you're talking about solving a problem we've been building for 50 years in 4. And I know we had the balanced budget amendment, the balanced budget with President Clinton. That balanced budget was simply a balanced budget. That didn't wipe out the debt that we had at that time. That was just, but it was the first step toward getting our fiscal house in order. I agree with that completely. I wish we would have kept to it, but we didn't because we went for so long saying everybody should have everything regardless of cost. And you can't live that way. I can't. Maybe you can. I can't. So I think we're taking the steps we need to take to get back on the road we should be on. That's all.
Good stuff, Andy. Thank you. Okay, up next, here's Ty in Natrona Heights. Ty, you're on KDKA with your Pratt Pack. How you doing?
Hey, Rob. How are you, buddy?
All right, man.
You know what? We have to, I praise God every day for Donald Trump because I think he's the best. And you're the best, too. I really appreciate you, buddy. But you know what? A lot of people, I'm really surprised, actually amazed how many people in this country, in the United States of America, do not like Donald Trump. I'm really amazed and surprised, and I'm saddened because of that, because I think he's the best. What do you think, Rob?
Listen, I love him because he's a man of action. And it's the same reason I love Josh Shapiro. I love his fighting spirit. I just want to see people get up and go. Kim Ward, I love her passion. Devlin Robinson, incredible passion. Jay Costa, love his passion. I just want people to work harder than me because they're working for a whole lot more than me just working for my family. They're working for every family, whether it's Pennsylvania or the nation. And when I look at Donald Trump, and I know a lot of people don't understand why I feel this way, but I really believe he cares about the American people. He's not doing it for status. His ego has been built up years ago. He's had everything a human being could ever want and 10 times more. I really think he wants to leave something for his children and grandchildren to embrace and say he did it for our family, but he did it for the country. How many times can you actually say you know somebody is doing something just for the good, for the country?
I really believe that the gifts that the United States gives us, our government, our precious government of the United States of America, I really believe that what they give us, people ought to be glad that we have, Social Security, we have Medicare, we all have all these good things that the United States gives us. And yet a lot of people complain because they don't have enough. I think they should just, quit complaining and just say, Lord, you gave this to me. I'm going to use it for your glory. And what do you think, Rob?
Listen, anytime you bring God into the picture, that's a good thing. Listen, we have so much more than most. We have the ability to get welfare, to get food stamps. People that are in need, please, they need that help. I get it. But the president is also trying to reset the bar. He's trying to get people to go to work again. That's what America needs. America needs to work. When I look around and I see so many people that could be doing so much more because of their God-given ability, I look at the young people in America today. They flat out amaze me. Listen, I'm going to tell you something right now that I don't think I've ever admitted, but I'm going to do it tonight to prove a point. Because it's all about the legacy. What I leave is what it's all about. Whether it's the audience or my family, it's about the advice, the moments, the legacy. Because I understand where I'm at in my life. I think about it more than I ever have. My children, 34, 26, 23, are smarter than their father. 10 times over. If I worked for them, I would be intimidated because I'd be thinking every day, am I doing a good job? I hope that I'm really living up to my standards. My children are brilliant, and they're just kids. I mean, even my 34-year-old who has 3 beautiful babies with his wonderful wife, Sarah, he's still my baby, okay? But he's so much smarter than me. And I could flip a switch right now. He could take over this show and probably deliver some of the stuff that I do better. My son, Robbie, he's a IT genius. What he can do with the computer is mind-boggling. And my daughter, the written word, an influencer on social media, what she does for her career, which is just the beginning, she got her mother's brains and her looks, but she also has that humor that my mother had, that sense of humor. She's the total package. I thank God every day for my children and grandchildren. But what I'm saying is young people, Alonzo, my producer, he's a magician when it comes to technology. Margot, I mean, a tactician, incredible. Greg Finley, tremendous. Probably a better play-by-play guy than I ever hoped to be. But that's what you want. You want the next generation. I watch this Ben Tenuta who does all this social media stuff here. He's Steven Spielberg. This kid's off the charts. What I would have done to have him on my TV show back in the day. So we have the ability. We have the brains. We have the youth. We have the strength. We just need to have some people showing them the right way. Not all my kids like Donald Trump. I understand that. But they also know that their dad has to stir the pot to get people blood boiling, so they're going to talk about these issues. You can never get over your past unless you remember it. And when I look at this country, I see a lot of negative stuff. And that's why we are where we're at right now. And that's why these decisions have to be made. Everything we've talked about tonight, all of the headlines, all of the news stories, it comes back to one thing: building the brand better. And that brand is the United States of America. 866-391-1020.
Summers in Pittsburgh are great, but you don't want to spend it painting, so do what Don did. He called Rhino Shield.
Well, the home was built in 1948. Paint on the aluminum siding was peeling, and I couldn't find anyone who would repaint it until I called Rhino Shield.
Rhino Shield's better than paint. And the crew?
Painted all my aluminum siding, and I've got a front porch that runs the whole length of the house and all the pillars. And once they were gone, I couldn't even tell that they were there.
And right now, you can get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 10% off the regular price. Plus, there's more great news. Rhino Shield has partnered with Green Sky Financing to offer affordable monthly payments with 0% interest loans to qualified customers.
Well, I've told a lot of people, do the Rhino Shield. It's really a great product, and that would be the way to go.
And here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint. Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Sunday mornings at 6 a.m. on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA, it's Tech Vibe Radio. Join hosts Audrey Russo and Jonathan Kirsting from the Pittsburgh Technology Council's Huntington Bank Studios as they bring you a front row seat to Pittsburgh's tech sector.
It's Marty Griffin. I have seen so much angst and anger these days that, you know what's overwhelmed me with joy and optimism? This Get Marty. The folks in this community that have stepped up. You can't help your neighbor if you hate your neighbor. Get Marty epitomizes that opportunity to help people, feed people, clothe people, educate people. If you need me, get Marty at KDKRadio.com.
Get Marty is presented by Phil DeLuceni and Associates, Levin Furniture, UPMC Health System, CNS Construction, John Keefe Restaurant Group of Oakmont, and by Robert Pierce and Associates. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020.
CBS News Brief. Flash floods in central Texas have killed at least 110 people and even more are missing. CBS's Nydia Cavazos.
This includes people from Camp Mystic, but people who were not necessarily registered with the camp. They were not staying at a hotel, but whose family members have reached out and they are looking for answers.
The devastation along the Guadalupe River has drawn a massive search effort. The city of Los Angeles is filing a lawsuit to stop the Trump administration from carrying out ICE raids. L.A. Mayor Karen Bass.
How do we know the difference between this and a kidnapping? And so it creates a public safety problem.
Striking Philadelphia union workers returned to the negotiating table with city officials today, the 8th day of their ongoing strike for higher pay and health care benefits. CBS News Philadelphia's Dan Snyder.
The main sticking point being how much of a pay raise workers would see. At last check, the union was calling for a 5% per year raise, with the city sticking at around 3% a year.
CBS News Brief, I'm Jennifer Kuiper.
Hello, KDKA listeners. This is Carlos, owner of Greater Pitt Tree Service. If you have any concerns about any trees on your property, call Greater Pitt Tree Service, 412-884-TREE. We have an A-plus rating on the Better Business Bureau. To serve your needs best, we have an ISA-certified arborist on staff. We have 32 years experience, 412-884-TREE. We will be your best choice for tree work. Greater Pitt Tree Service, 412-884-TREE. And remember, we did your neighbor's tree.
Americans spend $66 billion on weight loss products and services each year. And you know what? Right here in our hometown, Pittsburgh's very own board-certified and licensed hypnotherapist Dan Bitchoff has helped thousands of people do just that. Lose weight, keep it off. In fact, he's been helping people take back control of their lives for more than 20 years here in Pittsburgh at the PA Hypnosis Center. You have an opportunity to do the same. Are you battling anxiety? So many people are. He can help you with that. If you want to quit smoking, Dan Bitchoff is the call you should make at the PA Hypnosis Center today. Schedule your free consultation at 724-934-8446, 724-934-8446. Dan can help you reach your goal with a 98% success guarantee. 724-934-8446. Call now.
Here's a few questions for you from California Psychics. Do your workdays seem to go on forever? Is your career progression as fast as downtown traffic? Or does your boss still not know your name?
Hey, you, Tina, Lisa, Sheila, whatever. Get that report to me by lunch, okay? It's Carrie, ma'am. Just get it done, Terry.
It's time to read the career warning signs and talk to California Psychics. We're always on hand to give you the career guidance you need. You see, we only connect you with the very best. In fact, 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us don't make the grade. That's why we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. So you could soon be telling your boss where to stick that report.
Where are you going, Terry? Terry!
Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
The sky will turn out partly cloudy tonight. We'll get down to 63 for an overnight low. It's going to be a humid day tomorrow with times of clouds and sunshine. There could be an afternoon thunderstorm, high 85. Still humid Thursday with some sun and a thunderstorm, high 80. For AccuWeather, I'm Brian Thompson, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Hi, this is Larry Richard. Join us on the Big K Morning Show tomorrow, 5:30 until 10 in our 7 o'clock hour, our weekly visit with Rich Fitzgerald, bringing us big news from around the 10-county region.
Yeah, that's one guy, Rich Fitzgerald, that gets it. I loved him as a politician, and I love what he's doing now, and I love that segment on the Big K Morning Show. I'm going to tell you about something big in just a bit that just broke moments ago that I've seen for the first time. It's actually been out for the last couple of hours, but I'm going to tell you about it in just a minute. But let's go to George. He's up next from Clairton on KDKA. Hey, Georgie.
Okay, Rob, you know, I started off Sunday talking about the 50-year article in the Post-Gazette, and I thought there was going to be a little feedback on it, so I went out and bought a paper. First paper I bought in years. I'll tell you how long it's been. I don't know if my dad was still around. He passed away in 89. I put down $2, and they said, hey, man, 4 more. $6 for the old rag. But it was a nice looking paper and a great article on the gentlemen and the ladies who were involved in Vietnam.
Listen, let me just say something before we go any further. Thank you for buying the PG. Best money you ever spent. You got to get that app for your phone. I never leave home without it. What a great resource. And when I retire someday, give me a Post-Gazette app, give me a cold beer and a radio. I'll be good to go. You'll never hear or see from me again. But listen, the paper copy was in the studio yesterday, and I walked by it a couple of times, and I had to pick it up, and I just had to hold it in my hands. That is one of the greatest articles that anything, at any time, any place, but definitely in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Vietnam, 50 years after Pittsburgh's involvement. I highly recommend you. It's worth it. It's just an incredible, incredible chapter of history that we should never forget. All right, George, I didn't mean to step on you, but I had to get that off my chest. Go ahead.
That's okay. When I opened it up and I looked at the front picture, I saw the name, Patrick Leach. I think it said him in Monroeville first, or Penn Hills. I knew him at Wilkinsburg. He was actually my Tang Sudo Muda Kwan karate instructor back in 82 when I first got laid off from the mill. And I'm right by Clairton Mill as we're speaking. I met Mr. Leach, and a great guy. And he was probably first, second degree black belt then. I think he was first working on second. This was C.S. Kim's Karate College, they used to call it, right up by the Holiday House. Yeah. And you know, Zigarelli. You know the daughter, right?
Yeah, Rhonda.
Yes, her father was taking classes with us. It was such a hard.
Listen. Years ago, I did a commercial, or I was in the same studio with Master Kim. He was a really cool person, man. He really
wasn't he though?
He was. He was like our Bruce. He was our Bruce Lee. I loved that guy.
Yeah, his birthday is coming up, man. Same day as my best friend's, August 18th. I think he will probably be about 84 years old. Amazing man. And I went there a few years, so I kind of ran out of money, relocated to New York. But another gentleman in there, and it said from Clairton, was Ronnie Colonna. I didn't know him, but I knew the entire Colonna family. He had to have been just about 5 years older than both of us. Really, we're only a couple months apart. I would say he might be in his 70s. and the accounts that those guys went through. And I knew a lot of this because I grew up in this. I miss Nam by not much. And kids, 60 years ago, the end of May was when we seemed to have really gotten involved in. We didn't say Nam, we said Vietnam in those days. And I was like the only kid in third grade that knew where it was. I guessed where it was. I said, I don't know. I think in between China and India. And I didn't want to be like Horseshock raising my hand. But I waited. my turn, and they picked me. And we talked about that. And I had friends from my neighborhood in Clairton that were already shaved their heads, good-looking dudes with some of the best good-looking genealogy, first, second generation in Clairton of guys that were going into the service. And they were visiting my grade school teachers over Fifth Street Elementary, which has been long gone for 40 years plus. And that was the time, and I remember that so well.
Listen, I got to just prove a point here. One of the things that I said over the weekend when that thing was printed, and I highly urge anyone to find this article, so well written, but so poignant as far as being connected to names like George recognized from Pittsburgh. But isn't it ironic? 58,000 altogether, flag draped coffins plus. But isn't it? There's no place that I have gone in my life where somebody is not connected to the tragedy of a loss of a soldier in Vietnam. I mean, Beaver County, we lost 2. I mean, it's uncanny. And here you are, you're calling and talking about people that you knew. I mean, it's uncanny when you think about the effect and the wide effect that this war had on America, just in every nook and cranny from coast to coast.
There was someone in there, I think, from either Ambridge or Aliquippa, would have known my cousin Stevie, last name Haranis, an anglicized version of my last name.
It's actually, it's actually Havancic, because let me tell you how small.
Oh, that it was? Okay.
Well, let me tell you how small the world is. His nickname was Shorty. He was the nephew of my neighbor, Joe Havancic, and Joe's son and I were very close. But Shorty was kind of like the Fonz. He was cool, always wore the Wranglers, the Lucky Strikes rolled up under the sleeve of his white T-shirt, the penny loafers, the white socks, had a cool car, had that buzz haircut. And I literally was a young kid. I remember following him all the way to the neighboring yard where his uncle and aunt lived. And he looked back at me, and I was on the last step, and he was on the landing on the top step of this hill, and he said, I'm going to go into the Army. And he never came back, obviously, and his father, Andy, who lived many years after, kept his son's car, which was on blocks, waiting for him to come back, on blocks, meaning cement blocks without the wheels, in the garage with a tarp over it, to waiting for his son to come back. His son didn't come back, but that car stayed in that garage until Andy took his last breath many years later. But that was my first real experience with the loss of life and war, and I still think about anything that has to do with Vietnam. I still think about that young Havancic who was known as Shorty. So that's I'm telling you how small the world really is. It's small.
Yeah, it is. And we're not that far. 20, 30 miles is nothing. And there was a country western song come out around 2001, perhaps. Always Be Riding with Private Malone. Guy he saved up his money, and he went in to buy a Chevrolet. And what he found in the barn was a 1965 or 66 Corvette with a letter in it. And after reading this letter, I never made it back.
But Georgie, think about how much and how lucky you and I are, how much life we've had since the end of the Vietnam War 50 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean,
like I said, I was I was right out of school, and you were probably just about graduating. 75, you did graduate 75, right?
Right, but here's the thing. They were kicking people out of the service because they didn't need the numbers, and they stopped the draft. If that thing would have went just a little bit longer, because of my grades and my future, I would have been the first to go. I'd have been gone.
We used to talk to recruiters after school, and they had the Navy with the Marines, because at that time, much to their chagrin, I'm sure, but the Marines were a part of the Department of the Navy. And I had these stickers, A Few Good Men, like Jack Nicholson, in my bedroom. My dad was working 4 to 12 right across from where I'm looking right now into the mill, Maple Avenue Gate. He come home, this was around May or April of 73. And he said, what the blankety blank? And I woke up, and he says, what's this? And I says, I think I'm going to the Marines, but I was younger for my grade. He said, I got a sign for you. He said, this ain't World War II. And he says, you can't even pick up your dirty clothes and put them in a hamper. He says, you can't handle the discipline, like Nicholson said, you can't handle the truth. And that's what he was saying.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. I was scared to death. I was praying.
Were ya?
Oh my, yeah. I mean, the guy died. That kid, he was like a hero to me. He was the coolest guy going, and I thought if he died, I don't have a chance.
I know. I used to work out downstairs, and I just did calisthenics because I figured that's what they did in boot camp. I had no idea, and we had some nice pamphlets they gave us. And
yeah, but you know why? You know why they draft 18-year-olds, don't you? Because they think they don't. They're inferior. I mean, they can overcome
That's
anything.
Right. That's front. You could ask your Dr. Piper from last night, who will be next week, hopefully. The frontal lobe of the brain ain't developed, brother, until you're about 25 or 6.
Well, let me tell you something. I was connected to my mother's apron strings. I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave that house. Listen, if they were alive today, I'd move back in tomorrow. Are you kidding me? All right. Hey, Georgie, good stuff, man. Thank you.
I'm going to see you.
All right. Yeah, I'm glad he called about. Honestly, I've been debating whether or not to do something on it, but I don't think I could do it justice. That article was like, that's like Pulitzer Prize stuff. I mean, that's what you get with that paper. And that's a great resource. Both papers, the Trib, love it. I mean, my hometown paper, Beaver County Times, reporters, journalists who give you the backstory. That's the backstory. Vietnam, 50 years. I mean, 1975. I can't fathom where the time has gone. But I think about my friend Shorty all the time. It's just amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. And I'll tell you another quick thing real fast. I knew a gentleman from Ohio who was a point leader. In other words, they would go out and scout while the platoon was behind them, and the life expectancy of the person who was on the point, now I might be off on this a little bit, but to my best of my recollection, was 3 weeks. I mean, that's how dangerous. And this guy went from being the drum major in the high school band off to Vietnam on the point. This guy was a great individual. Loved him. I'd give anything to have a beer with him again. But I'll never forget, there were times we would be at a bar and he'd be all alone at the end of the bar. And I'd be like, well, what's up with him? They never let it go because they couldn't. And the sad thing of it is, we let them down because we took away those jobs that would have given them stability, a place to go, a paycheck to be able to have a life. We have to take care of our veterans. We got to stop this madness in this country. We've got to take back what is rightfully ours, what was given to us by the greatest generation. And we can never forget about the men and women who have sacrificed themselves for having this country being the greatest place on the planet to live. We owe them more. We owe them everything. We'll be back. It's your Pratt Pack. Stay with us.
Every Tuesday morning at 7:20, listen for Inside Independence Health, a look at all things healthcare with the experts from Independence Health System. It's brought to you by Independence Health System. Expert care here.
The popularity of cremation is on the rise. Unfortunately, so is the cost. I'm Dustin D'Alessandro, supervisor and funeral director. To keep the cost down, the Thomas M. Smith Funeral Home and Crematory Limited in Blawnox and the D'Alessandro Funeral Home and Crematory Limited in Lawrenceville have on-site crematories. By performing the cremation on-site without losing custody of the remains, our funeral homes can defray those costs and pass the savings on to you. Our fee for a direct cremation is only $1,250. This low-cost, direct cremation offer is available to all residents of Allegheny County. Surrounding counties will incur a slight additional fee based on mileage. Contact us with questions or to schedule an appointment by calling the Blawnox office at 412-828-5700 or our Lawrenceville office at 412-682-6500. Our websites are thomasmsmithfuneralhome.com and DeLisandroLTD.com.
Summer's here, and so is Len Lachina from Lachina Drapery and Blind Factory.
Lachina can immediately refresh your home with custom window treatments. For over 60 years, our family-owned company has handcrafted stunning draperies in our very own factory and offers top-quality blinds, shades, shutters, and more.
Take advantage of Lachina's free shop-at-home service or visit their showrooms in Dormont and Wexford. Remember, Lachina's prices can't be beat. 412-665-4900 or visit LachinaDrapery.com.
When it's cancer, life gets complicated. The AHN Cancer Navigation Team guides you through. Appointments, expert specialists, emotional support, done. Because at AHN, we see you. Visit ahn.org/cancer team. When it's cancer, AHN knows. Life takes a village. Cancer takes a team. The AHN Cancer Navigation Team gets you the support you need. An expert care plan, financial guidance, emotional support. Visit ahn.org/cancer team.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, once again from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, the app, a little after 7 tonight. $500 million Bakery Square expansion moves closer to reality. Madeline Rubin, person behind the article. A major $500 million expansion could soon be underway in Bakery Square after more than 4 years of planning. A hip hip hooray for city council members who today voiced their support for a proposal by Shadyside-based developer Walnut Capital. Love those folks at Walnut Capital. See that name everywhere. To grow the district by around 14 acres during a public hearing on bills that outline zoning changes necessary for the development. So once again, we take the time to pause. Round of applause. Anytime you see a big dig, anytime you see a development, especially when it comes to that type of real estate, that is a good sign. That is a great sign. Don't you see all of the things that are happening? Do I have to remind you? We're as local can be, but there's national implications how people are looking to us to be the game changer. Pennsylvania. I mean, I talked earlier to the guys from Burned by Rocky Patel, Colin and Justin, about the draft coming next year. You know, for those of you who are saying, well, it's just football. Let me tell you something. No, it's not. It's the Super Bowl, the World Series, the Stanley Cup, the NBA, College National Championship, all rolled up into one, and a red carpet opening to the next Tom Cruise movie. That's how big this is. Hotels. Man, you know what I would love to do? You guys can go to the draft. I'll watch all of that on the NFL Network. I'll watch the replay. So I need to get an Uber driver, and I want to hit every major bar and hotel lounge in Pittsburgh over those 4 days. I just want to go in, have one drink, tell the driver to take me to the next place. I want to feel that electricity. I want to sit in a hotel lobby with my Post-Gazette, just peering over the top of the paper to see who's coming in next. Do you understand what we're going to look like? The fountain, that great Mount Washington shot, those drones flying with all the pictures, the Golden Triangle where I worked for 20 plus years and loved every minute of it. You know, there's been some construction on 376, so I've been at times kind of going through the tunnels and going Ohio River Boulevard, Fort Duquesne Bridge, North Side, and out. And man, I got to tell you, I miss the city. I do. I mean, I do. We're in Green Tree. We're just a few minutes away. But man, there's something about the juice, the energy, the electricity. I was so jealous of these two guys in here earlier tonight, Burned by Rocky Patel, being over there on the North Shore. Have you been there lately? That place, Bar Louie, all those places, it's incredible. Man, it's a pulse. It's a heartbeat. Hyde Park, man, you can't get a better steak anywhere. And you pull up and you got the valet and the whole thing, the canopy. You go in. I'm telling you, life is good, man. Life is good in Pittsburgh. And when you hear of an expansion like that, that's off the charts. Look, I've always enjoyed talking to you, but I love doing those Pittsburgh work shows. I do. Because it's different things, people, business, you know, people that are in medicine, people that are in business, people that are in entertainment like these gentlemen tonight, tomorrow night, live Casino Pittsburgh. I love the bells and whistles of the casino. And you know that. And I've heard nothing but rave reviews about the food, the excitement. I heard this place is incredible. And they've got this Fight Fest coming up. It's going to be awesome. July 11th and 12th, you're going to have people like Paul Spatafore dropping in, the Pittsburgh kid who I've known forever. And Roy Jones Jr., maybe the greatest pound-for-pound fighter ever. Used to watch his magic dazzle people back in the day. I've actually done boxing on the radio and television. Loved it since I was a kid. And they're going to have some really incredible stuff. And this whole MMA thing, UFC, it's big. The president, I mean, this guy who literally brought the gaming industry back. The reason why we have Live Casino Pittsburgh and all these places, because what that guy was doing in Atlantic City years ago. And he was also promoting boxing matches like Mike Tyson, who just celebrated a birthday a couple of days ago. Happy birthday, Mike. Still one of the greatest fighters ever. But man, what's happening with the UFC? Now Dana White's going to be promoting boxing too. He's got Canelo and Crawford coming up. Are you kidding me? No matter where I look, I see good. But you got to talk about what we need to improve to make it better so we can have more stories like all the stuff we're talking about. Do you realize what Nippon U.S. Steel could do for this country? I mean, think about it. Could bring billions. Could create maybe another 10,000 steel jobs right here over a period of time. But all the ancillary jobs, the trucking industry, the Teamsters, thumbs up, the railroad, the barge traffic, selling hot dogs at the local stand down the street, right? Everything you look at need new truck tires. We got them because we got trucks rolling and we need tires. You need a new truck? We've got some great auto dealers in this region who'd be more than happy to give you a fleet of them. Money's going to be exchanging hands like we've never seen before. Cash registers are going to ring like never before. You're going to have billions going into the Mon Valley. Thousands of building trades, carpenters, electricians, and plumbers. And let me tell you about those fine, incredibly talented men and women of the carpenters and all the other building trades. They spend money where they work. I'm going to tell you one of the greatest things I saw for years when I would go home at night from this radio station, and I'd get off the Beaver exit on purpose because it's one exit past Monaca just so I could drive by the cracker plant. But the thing that I loved the most when I would come off that ramp and drop into Beaver, the hot dog shop, McDonald's, Wendy's, they were wrapped around the block. Headlights like that last scene in Field of Dreams, build it and they will come. Man, I used to just get in line to get a coffee at one of those places when I knew I was going to be in it for an extra 20 minutes, but I didn't care. I can't tell you how many times I'd be coming home and I'd have to go somewhere, and I'd be on a road and I'd be bumper to bumper traffic because the shift change was taking place there with all these workers. I loved it. Couldn't wait just to sit there and think cash registers are ringing. No matter what you think, couples that are raising families, when they have money coming in, they're happy campers. So everything we talked about from the moment we went on the air tonight to the last minute right now comes down to one thing. Giving you the opportunity that I had after a long day that I miss dearly because it goes by so quickly. Being able to tuck my children in at night, or if I got home after they were asleep, just to crack the door and take a quick peek and see their face with that nightlight, knowing that I did something good and they had a future because of my paycheck. That's how important all of this stuff is. Politics